Hello, good evening. My name is Richard. This is Over and Over and Over Again. It is Matchday Live. Champions League. Yes, Arsenal are, of course, back in the Champions League. This is Matchday 2, and Arsenal looking to build on that victory over PSV Eindhoven at the Emirates, of course, a couple of weeks ago. We are away in northern France, playing Racing Club de Lens, as they are known. RC Lens. It's the fifth time we've played them. It is going to be a great game, so stay with us. All coming up the other side of this. So this will be the fifth time we've played Lens previously. We have won 2 of the previous 4. There's been 1 draw and 1 defeat. The defeat actually came at Wembley in the Champions League. We've not beaten them in the Champions League because we drew away, which oddly enough was our first ever game in the Champions League in its current format, and it was also Lens' first ever game in the Champions League. I was at that game, finishing a 1-1 draw. Martin Keown scored an own goal in the last minute after Mark Overmars had given us the lead. But we did beat him in the semi-final of what was then called the UEFA Cup in 2000. It was in the semi-final before we went on to lose the final. But they did win at Wembley. We played in that blue kit, if you remember, which was quite unusual. I was at that game as well, actually, which was very disappointing, wasn't it? So hoping for a better result tonight. In fact, their goal was offside. I think they're just showing a replay of it now. The goal at Wembley. Anyway, VAR, of course, wasn't there then. But let's have a look. We got some comments already, or quite a few. Look, Nathan's in there doing. Nathan, good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. He says hello to me and everyone in the chat. He said, Rich, have you heard the VAR audio from the Spurs Liverpool game? I haven't yet. Actually, I'm looking forward to hearing that. But it sounds like you're saying it's not very good. Nathan says it just shows they are complete amateurs. Well, I mean, they shouldn't be complete amateurs, should they? Because they're full-time professionals who get paid a lot of money. So I haven't heard it yet. I'm looking forward to hearing it, actually, because I want to see exactly what's gone on there, because it's just a joke, really, wasn't it, the whole thing? We've got Nick Nack in the chat as well. Nick Nack says, I think we already knew that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we did. Nick Nack says hi to me and to Nathan. How you doing? Alan's in the chat there, my friend. Good to see you. Super Rich. Indeed. Come on, you Gunners. That's how it's all about, isn't it? We've got off-road in chat as well. Evening all. Nathan says, I agree. That proves it, though. Well, I haven't heard it yet, but it's interesting. I can't wait to hear it, actually. That's going to be really good. Nick Nack says there, Lens had an incredible home record last season. Yeah, they did. They've been struggling this season, haven't they? Although they have won their last 2 games. And they did, of course, get a draw at Sevilla in the first round of games, didn't they? So they're doing okay recently, but yeah, they had a bad start. I think they're 15th or something in the French league, but yeah, they seem as though they're getting their act together now. But yeah, they did have a very good home record last season. It's a funny little ground, actually. I remember going there back in the day. Nathan says disgraceful. Yeah, I mean, the whole point of VAR was that it was supposed to stop the mistakes, wasn't it? I think we all kind of got used to the fact that referees make mistakes. They're human at the end of the day. And we kind of knew they was going to make mistakes here and there. And we all moaned about it, didn't we? We spoke about it in a car going home from games, on the train or whatever, in the pub. And it was fine. Whereas now there's no excuses, is there? Because they've got the technology there to prevent wrong decisions. And the fact that they keep making wrong decisions tends to suggest to me that we need a complete overhaul. Or is there something else at play? Who knows? It only seems to be VAR in the Premier League or in England that it seems to have a problem. Everywhere else it seems to work well, so I'm not really sure. Alan says they're strong side, which, as I said, it would be. Yeah, I mean, you're pretty spot on. I did say Tommy Ass will be at right back, though, but I wasn't expecting such a strong team. I've got to be honest, with the Man City game coming up on Sunday, I thought he might have made 1 or 2 other changes. I thought Jorginho may well have played. Vieira may well have played. But no, it's good to see Trossard back in the starting lineup, isn't it? And Havertz, of course, we kind of expected Havertz to play, didn't we? Because I don't know, is there something in his contract he's got to play so many games? I'm not sure. But no, of course, he did score at the weekend, so maybe now's his time. Maybe he's going to shine, and he's going to be our best player going forward. Nick Nat says VAR has just created more controversy than what we had before. Exactly, yeah, that's all it's done. You're absolutely right. Nathan said people wanted it scrapped. The system is not the issue. It's the people operating it. Well, it is. But unfortunately, who else have we got to operate it? At the minute, there's no one else, is there? I mean, they can train new people, I guess, but would that take too long? Nick Nack says City have Champions League football as well this week. Tough game too against Leipzig. Yeah, they're playing tomorrow as well. So we get an extra day's rest, although we've got to travel not that far, I suppose. Offro says if VAR wasn't at the game, oh, hang on, I've just got something. If VAR wasn't at the game, that goal would still have been called offside. Yeah, it would have done because the linesman and the referee on the field gave it as offside, didn't they? So you're right. But at least then there wouldn't be so much of a debate about it, because you can say, well, okay, yeah, you can see why maybe the linesman flagged, and you can write that off. But when VAR have seen it and still disallowed it, that's when it becomes a bigger problem, doesn't it? I personally would like to see VAR scrapped. It's never going to happen. And go back to the old system, because I don't really think the old system was actually that bad. Yes, human error, of course, is going to happen. Although maybe they should just change what they use VAR for. Maybe just use it for the clear decisions, not objective decisions, like is it a penalty, is it not a penalty, is it a foul, is it not a foul. Don't, because different referees and different people are going to interpret it differently. Just the simple things that are yes or no. Is it offside? No. Is the ball over the line? No. Yes or no. You know what I mean? That's what it should be used for, I think, if they're going to use it. We've got a Lons fan in. I don't really speak French, but I'm assuming you're a Lons fan, and it's good to have you here. And your English is no doubt better than my French. Although I did go to Lons, I say, in 1998, which was good fun. Nick Nack says there defeats the object of VAR if it isn't getting these calls. Well, exactly, it does. It completely defeats. I mean, the whole point of having it, wasn't it? The whole point of VAR was that we don't get these decisions wrong. There's no need to get them wrong, is there? Because the technology's there, the lines are there. Offside should be 100% correct all the time. Everything else is a bit subjective, isn't it? Is it handball? Is it not handball? Should that be a penalty? Not. We've all got an opinion on that. VAR isn't going to solve it, is it? But for offside, it's the one thing that the only thing VAR can actually get right is offsides. And when they get them so wrong, as they have with this one and other ones previously as well, we've had one against us, then serious questions have to be asked. And that the people responsible for it, that the VAR officials in that game, it's no good them saying, oh, we're gonna stand them down for a game or 2 games. That's no good. They need to fine them 2 or 3 weeks' wages. Then you'll see them improve their performances. If that's what they do, that's what they need to do, don't they? And retrain them while they're off. You don't let them have a game for 6 weeks. You retrain them during that 6 weeks. You don't pay them. And then I'm sure next time they won't make stupid mistakes like that again. The best way to hit these people is in the pocket. Since they've gone full-time professional, these referees, and they're earning a big, decent wage, the standards have gone down. And there's the 2 things are connected. When they used to get paid £200 a game plus a few travel expenses, they used to be much better. They've suddenly now get paid a full-time wage, and they've got worse. What does that tell you? Hit them in the pocket. That's what I say. And then we might see some better performances from them. Nathan says there, do you know if Seko Fofana still plays for Lons? I'm not sure if he does. If he is, he's injured because he's not in the squad tonight. Actually, talking about the squads, we should get the teams up, shouldn't we? We've got Russ in the chat there. Doing Russ, good to see you, my friend. Nick Nack says hi to Russ as well. Offro says the problem is incompetent officials at VAR is going to mean fans and clubs are going to ask for audio for every contentious decision. Chaos. Unless they just do what is it rugby where you hear it anyway, don't you? Just do that. Hear it live. Everybody can hear it. TV can hear it. People in the stadium can hear it. Do that. Then they can't really cover up their idiocy, can they? Because no one's gonna part with it, are they? Phil's in the chat there, my friend. Good to see you. Hope you're well. He says, evening, everyone. Indeed. Actually, why don't we we'll go through the teams quickly, shall we? So this is the Arsenal team then for tonight. It is a strong side, as Alan said there. It's David Raya in goal. Back 4, Takahiro Tomiyasu, William Saliba, Gabriel, Alexander Zinchenko. 3 in midfield, Declan Rice, Martin Odegaard, the captain, and Kai Havertz in the team again. Will he score another goal? And the front 3, Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Jesus, and Leandro Trossard. Good to see him back. On the bench, then pretty much everybody else in the squad. Aaron Ramsdale, Ben White, Jacob Kiwior, Cedric Suarez, Thomas Partey, Jorginho, Mohamed El Neni, Emil Smith-Rowe, Fabio Vieira, Reece Nelson, Eddie Nketiah, and the goalkeeper, Carl Hine. For Lons, then their captain is their goalkeeper, Bryce Samba, of course, used to play for Nottingham Forest, didn't he, in the Premier League? There's looks like they've got a back 3: Jonathan Grandit, Kevin Danso, and Facundo Medina, or Funky Cold Medina, as we like to call him. In midfield, they've got Frankowski, Memphis Mendy. He played in the Premier League as well, didn't he? Who was it he played for? Leicester. They've got Samid, Abdul, and Devier Machado, and in their front 3 is Florin, Sakata, Adrian Thomason, and Eli Wall. So that is your teams then for this big game tonight. Then Champions League, Arsenal looking to make it 2 wins out of 2, which would be a great start, wouldn't it? Since we've not been in the league for a long time. Nick Nack says he plays for in the Saudi Pro League now for Al Nazir. Oh, does he? Right, okay, well, there you go. Lots of players are going to the Saudi League, aren't they now? Nathan says if they say no to allowing people to listen, that is when I'd really start to ask questions. Well, yeah, I mean, they were saying about they wanted to sort of make sure the audio was right first, so they were going to tamper with it. I'm not sure I believe anything that they say anymore. Moffo says Arteta is going to die on the Havertz Hill. Well, he might do. Is that like the Henman Hill at Wimbledon? It must be, mustn't it? Nathan's just saying thanks to Nick Nack there. He's such a good player. He is. The teams are in the tunnel, and what's quite interesting is Arsenal are going to be wearing their green and blue away kit, or third kit, which they've not worn yet this season. In fact, it'll be the first time Arsenal have worn a green and blue away kit since 1983. So there you go. What's that? 40 years ago since the last time we wore a green and blue away kit. I seem to remember that season 82-83 we didn't do particularly well. So the last time we wore it, I don't know which game it was, maybe Aston Villa last game of the season, which we lost. So let's hope that the kit brings us more luck this time. Lons, of course, are in their red and gold. That is their colours, and very smart it is as well. So we're just coming out of the tunnel then, the teams for this big Champions League game. Arsenal looking, I say, to make it 2 wins out of 2. Lons got a good draw away in Sevilla, and of course we got home and away games against Sevilla to come, haven't we, after this? So it's going to be interesting to see how this goes. It's a big. I think if we can win this game tonight, then you'd expect us to get some points against Sevilla, and then that'll put us in a really strong position to go through, won't it? So it's important that we get something tonight. A draw or a win, obviously, would be great. Let me know what your score predictions are for this game. It is a very, very strong Arsenal team, stronger than I was anticipating. At work today, I said a 1-1 draw, but I was expecting a few more changes to the team. Having seen the lineup that we've got, we should win this game. We're the better team. We've got far stronger players, and it's not far off full strength. So I'm going to change my prediction, having seen the lineup. I'm going to say Arsenal are going to win this game by 2-1, as we did the last time we played in this stadium in the UEFA Cup in 2000. I don't know too much about this Lons side, but I say the goalkeeper we know, who played for Nottingham Forest, and I say Namphias Mendy as well. It was at Leicester, wasn't he? Was it last season or the season before? So we kind of know a little bit about him. Alan's gone 3-0. Nathan's gone 3-1 to Arsenal. Yeah, I think Arsenal win now. Offo says, I remember the kick back in 83, Tony Woodcock and Paul Mariner. Now, Paul Mariner joined in 84. We didn't have the green kit then. Tony Woodcock was there. Lee Chapman, I seem to remember as well, wearing it. Didn't exactly do much at Arsenal, did he? So yeah, that was back then. Yeah, Tony Woodcock and was there. That was the first season that we signed Tony Woodcock. Actually, that was our away kit then. Nick Nack says a hard one to predict. Should be winning by a couple of goals. Let's go 2-0. Yeah, well, 2-0 will be decent. I say I'm fancying a 2-1. I think they might score. They're at home, big crowd in, excited crowd. Their first home game in the Champions League for quite some time. It's only their third ever season in the Champions League, actually, and we've played them in one of the previous two, didn't we? So it's like whenever they qualify, they seem to draw against us in the group. I say we did draw that game here last time at 1-1. It was a tight game, wasn't it? But it's a very different Arsenal now, isn't it? It's a very different Lons as well. And they've had a few struggles since then. They've been relegated a couple of times since '98, and they've been a bit up and down. But they did come second in the league last season to qualify for the Champions League, although they have had a bit of a poor start. I do like this third kit. I don't like the horrible luminous yellow one. But anyway, Nathan says there, Dancer is a good centre-back. He'd be a good dancer as well, won't he? Which is cool. Off-Road says there's no reason why Arsenal can't win every game in this group. Well, you say there's no reason why. There's a few reasons why. One of them will be on the sideline in the technical area. But we'll see. Nick Nack says Dancer was on loan at Southampton briefly, but we didn't take the option. Oh, was he? Oh, okay. Another player with some sort of Premier League links then in this Lons team. So yeah, strong Arsenal team. So it's obviously Mikel Arteta is taking this. Well, of course he's got to take Champions League seriously, isn't he? I just remember, previous years that we were in this competition, we used to play a few of the squad players, didn't we, in the group stage, and still get through. Whereas now we probably can't take those risks. My only concern is the Man City game on Sunday. Although I've said it before, players can get injured in training, they get injured on international duty, they can get injured falling down the stairs at home. So that's no reason to rest players. They're there to play. And I he's playing a strong team, and fair enough. I was just expecting him to make some changes, knowing Arteta that he doesn't like taking too many risks, does he? But anyway, let's have a look and see. Russ says there, Arteta are really sticking it to Ramsdale. Well, I just don't think Ramsdale's good enough. I said this for the last year and a half. He's not good enough. So I'm glad we've got a better goalkeeper. Tough luck, Ramsdale. You need to do better, mate. As I said, start fast, get a couple up at half time and make changes. That would be the dream. Well, yeah, just get the game won and then make changes. You're right. Yeah, that's the ideal solution, isn't it? Then, we can rest players. That's what you want to do. You don't want to be in a tight game. Anyway, we are off and underway here in northern France, and David Raya kicks long. Very long, too long. It's gone all the way out for a goal kick to Lons. I say also in this green and blue kit, which I actually really like, even though it wasn't very popular the first time it was out. But anyway, Offroad says, as Balogun missed 2 penalties for his French club. I'm not sure. He scored a great goal, didn't it, the weekend I saw. I saw a clip of it. It looked a really good goal. Mark C says, come on, you Greens. That's a chart that takes us back, isn't it, to the early 1980s when this kit, well, it's not the same kit, but a similar colour kit. I was going to wear my green kit, actually, but it clashes with a green screen, so I couldn't. But anyway, I've got the original one from 1983, but this one is very nice. Anyway, Lons are in possession in their defence at the moment. Phil says, I'm wearing the third kit tonight. It's a very nice kit, isn't it? I say I much prefer it to the away kit. This should be the away kit, really, shouldn't it? Let's be honest. But we'll only wear it probably 3 times in the Champions League. That'll be it. We won't wear it in the Premier League, I wouldn't have thought. A bit like last year's third kit. We didn't wear that very often, did we? 2 or 3 times, I think it was. Anyway, Gabriel in possession now. Displays it back to William Saliba, and Arsenal just knocking it around comfortably inside their own half. Declan Rice, who's been fantastic, hasn't he? 100 million he may have cost, but who cares? He's been brilliant. William Saliba now, and Arsenal just knocking it around at the back. Tomiyasu got some praise off Mikel Arteta this week, didn't he? Strange praise, really. We never picked him. He says how great he is. Well, if he's that great, mate, you'd play him more often, wouldn't you? Instead of playing a centre back at right back, you'd play an actual right back at right back, wouldn't you? If you rated him that much. But anyway, Tomiyasu's in tonight, and he just won a header there. And I do like Tomiyasu. I'm pleased he's playing. I want to see him get a run in the side because he deserves it. Anyway, Arsenal now with Zinchenko. Of course, he's in the middle of midfield where he likes to be. That's a good ball, actually, to Saka on this near side. Can Arsenal get the early goal? Saka goes round at the outside, but he's robbed. That's good defending, actually, there from Lons. And their fans behind the goal are really rocking and jumping about. And it looks like a really good atmosphere inside the stadium. This might explain why they had such a good home record. But anyway, Arsenal just picked the ball up there, but Havertz couldn't quite get it under control. And now Lons can launch a counter-attack. They've got sort of goldy yellow tops with red shorts and socks, which looks quite funky. Anyway, they're coming forward over on that far side. Ball into the box, defended well at the near post by Gabriel. It is going to be a corner to Lons, the first corner of the game. It's a decent ball in, actually, there from Frankowski, the pole. And it's put behind by Gabriel. It's a corner, though, to Lons in the early stages here of this game. We've played nearly 3 minutes. And the corner is going to be taken by Thomason, Adrian Thomason. He's going to take this corner from the far side, whipped into the edge of the 6-yard box, and Arsenal head doesn't really get it away. Almost a chance there for Lons inside the penalty area, but Arsenal do manage to scramble the ball clear and now look to launch a counter-attack with Gabriel Jesus, but the ball's played back to the goalkeeper, Samba Bryce, of course, the former Nottingham Forest goalkeeper. He's actually their captain. Lons is captain. Anyway, they're coming forward again here. This is a good run on this near side. Good defending, though, from Tomiyasu. It's another corner to Lons. Nick Nack says they're all about weathering the early storm. I think, well, yeah, I mean, away from home in the Champions League, that's what happens, isn't it? You're going to get that. And you just got to be strong for 15 minutes, 70 or so, quieten down the crowd and work your way into the game. And it has been early pressure. The crowd are really up for this game. And it is going to be a difficult first 10 or 15 minutes here, isn't it? It's a corner at Thomason's going to take again on this near side this time. And for some reason, my stream's just gone a bit weird. Anyway, this is showing that bit from about 5 minutes ago. I don't know what's going on here. I'm going to have to let's go back and see if we can get a different stream because that one's just not working, is it? What are you doing? Stupid. BT, TNT, whatever they want to call it these days. Anyway, we're back. Looks like that corner was headed wide. Actually, it wasn't. It was a shot actually that was only just wide. Actually, that was a big chance for Lons. Actually, there shot came in. It beat David Raya. It looked like it was going to head in that bottom corner, but it did just go wide. And Arsenal almost got the start we didn't want. It was Danso there. Of course, we were praising just before the game. It was his shot there on the turn that went just wide. And Lons now looking to come forward. Arsenal pinched the ball. And Arsenal looking to come forward. But that looks like it's going to be a foul there against. Not sure it was actually. Might have been Trossard. Anyway, it is a free kick to Lons, which the goalkeeper Samba is going to take. But Tomiyasu's there, does well. Plays the ball up the line to Bukayo Saka. He loses the ball though, but he was fouled. And it is going to be a free kick to Lons on this near side. Bukayo Saka, Arsenal's top scorer this season. 5 goals already for him in 10 games. Looks like he's going to, every season he increases his goals tally, doesn't he? Looks like he's going to be increasing it again this season. It says he's got 5 already. So well on the way, isn't he? Such an important player. Plays every single game, doesn't he? Regardless, it doesn't matter. He never seems to get injured, does he? He's just always there playing. We thought he wasn't going to play at the weekend, and he did. He got an injury in that game, had to go off, and here he is again. He must recover so quickly, mustn't he, from any little knock? Anyway, Tomiyasu can't keep this ball in on the near side, and it's gone out for a throw to Lons. We've played nearly 6 minutes in the north of France. It is Lons 0, Arsenal 0. Of course, a draw wouldn't be a disastrous result, would it? Away from home in Europe, you've got to be reasonably happy with a draw. Win your home game, draw your 3 away games, and you're going to probably top the group and go through. So, wouldn't be a disaster, would it? But a win would be a great result, wouldn't it? A great start, and it would give us a massive advantage because, of course, Sevilla drew their first game, as did Lons. They drew with each other, and of course, we beat PSV. So, we're going to be well clear at the top if we were to win this game, with the double header against Sevilla to come, which is going to be tricky, but I'm sure we can get at least 4 points from those 2 games, and then that would pretty much do it, wouldn't it? You would imagine. Obviously, Lons at home to come, PSV away. Surely we'd get enough points there, wouldn't we? Anyway, Lons are trying to come forward, but Arsenal defend it pretty well. Although they keep possession at the French side. Nick Nack says they're hard to see this group causing too many problems. No, I mean, the only issue would be, if we don't win this game tonight, say we draw and then we lose in Sevilla away, then suddenly it puts a bit of pressure on us, doesn't it? That's the worst case scenario, really. But anyway, Lons are coming forward. But you have to say, looking at the group, when it was drawn, I kind of fancied our chances to top this group without too many problems. It almost feels like a Europa League group, doesn't it? Now, we waited all this time to play in the Champions League, and we get a Europa League type style group, don't we? But anyway, you can only beat what's in front of you, and let's get through the group, and then obviously we will meet some much more tougher opponents in the knockout stage, I'm sure, but who knows what that's going to bring. It's a long time to do. But anyway, Lons are back in again, just inside the Arsenal penalty area on that far side. A cross comes in, header comes in. Oh, good save from David Raya. And Lons again were close. In fact, was that an offside? Because it looks like it's going to be a free kick to Arsenal. David Raya with a save there. But Lons are threatening again. I'm not quite sure what that... Oh, in fact, it was... I thought David Raya had saved it, but he hadn't. He actually just headed it wide. It was Thomas, and again, he dived, David Raya, but he didn't need to. He didn't need to get a hand on it there. Nick Nack says a bright start for Lons so far. It is. Offo says have to stop those crosses. Yeah, they're causing us a few problems, aren't they? And it's interesting to see how we do going to these countries. Extra travel. Majority of our players won't be used to it. But I mean, we played in the Europa League, haven't we? The travel is just the same. And in fact, this game here is one of the closest away games in Europe that you can have, isn't it, really, in northern France? So it's not too bad. But yeah, I mean, it's not so much the travel, is it? It's more the level of competition that you play in, isn't it? I mean, I know this group isn't much of a step up from the Europa League, really, but the competition is, and I'm sure as things go on, we're going to find it tough in that knockout stage. I'm not expecting Arsenal to do much in the Champions League this year when you've not been in it for such a long time. you can't expect Arsenal to go all the way and get to the final in our first season back. This season's about establishing ourselves back in the competition, isn't it? Getting out of the group stage, maybe getting through a round or so of the knockouts, and just re-establishing ourselves in the top competition. Hopefully, we'll be in it next season as well and beyond. But that's all I'm really hoping for from the Champions League this season. You know, reaching the semi-final would be a big bonus for me, and obviously any more than that would be brilliant, wouldn't it? So let's not get carried away and think we can win it. I suppose while we're in it, there's a chance of winning it, isn't there? But I'm not expecting. I say quarterfinals is probably about the most I'm expecting from it this season. Any more than that would be a massive bonus, and then hopefully whatever happens, we're in it next season. That's what it's all about. Kai Havertz is giving the ball away, but Bukayo Saka's battling to win it back, and then Kai Havertz is battling to win it back as well, but not able to. Lons are well up for this game, you have to say. They really are. Patrick says there, I hope we do better than last time round. Well, yeah, of course, we all hope so, don't we? Nick Nack says there, France isn't that far away. No, this isn't. This is northern France as well. I mean, southern France is a bit further away. Another cross into the box there. David Ray grabs that quite comfortably. Nick Nack says Manchester is probably a longer trip as the crow flies. Yeah, I mean, Newcastle would be, Liverpool probably would be in terms of distance. But yeah, I mean, you got Europe, isn't it? It's what it is. Off-road says there, do you miss FC carrier bag? No, I mean, we probably don't really. I remember when we played them. They're from where are they from? They're from like somewhere miles away, aren't they? Not even in Europe, are they? Anyway, Nick Nack says it's all about getting out of the group, then taking it one game at a time after that. Exactly, yeah. That's all we've got to do. We've got to get out of the group, haven't we? Because that's the minimum we should expect as Arsenal in the Champions League. We haven't not qualified out of the group since the first couple of years that we were ever in it. So, yeah, of course we've got to qualify out of the group, and then, like you said, take it one game at a time. But I'm not expecting miracles. You look at some of the teams that do well in the Champions League. We're not at that level yet, are we? And we lack that experience anyway. So, you know, let's not get carried away. But yeah, let's get through this group, and then let's see where we are after Christmas when it gets more interesting, doesn't it? The Champions League. You know, Arsenal having a spell of possession inside the Lons half, the first real decent spell of possession we've had. We played 11 minutes, and so far Arsenal haven't threatened to score a goal yet. But we might do now. Tomiyasu coming forward finds Saka on this near side. Bukayo Saka cuts back in, looks across it there, but he changed his mind and just played the ball instead square across the pitch to Declan Rice. Now Arsenal are looking a little bit more threatening now, aren't we? Saka now on his near side. He's got Tomiyasu outside him. He finds Tomiyasu, then back to Declan Rice again. He, of course, knows what it takes to win in Europe, doesn't he? I know it was only the Conference League last season that he won with West Ham, but it's still a European competition, and he's probably won more than pretty much most of the other teams. Of course, Kai Havertz also knows how to win this competition, doesn't he? He scored the winning goal in the final, Kai Havertz, if you remember. Probably the highlight of his career so far, but hopefully some more highlights to come in an Arsenal shirt. But we'll have to see. Anyway, Arsenal are coming forward now. Tomiyasu again on this near side. He's had a lot of the ball, hasn't he, in these early stages, Tomiyasu, and he's done well with it. That's a ball there to Gabriel. That's right over on that far side. Zinchenko, he's playing in a sort of advanced left-back position now. Plays it back again to Gabriel. Dinks the ball over the top. Trossard tried to lay it back to Kai Havertz. It wasn't a great ball, actually, and Lons can come forward, but not for long because Arsenal have won the ball back. Trying to go forward ourselves now. It was Tomiyasu actually that won that ball back. It was Declan Rice, sorry. William Saliba's in possession now. Nick Nack says there, no team is going to want to come up against Arsenal in the knockout rounds. Well, I mean, you say that. I think there'll be a few teams that have had a bit more experience in the knockout stages that probably wouldn't really have a problem. Off-road says there, none of these clubs would get into the top half of the Prem. In this group, absolutely. They definitely wouldn't. I say it's a Europa League group, isn't it? Anyway, Arsenal coming forward now on that far side. Zinchenko is in possession. Actually, that's Trossard, sorry, with his bleached blonde hair. This is a good spell for Arsenal, actually. But that attack there comes to nothing because Lons can break forward now. And we've just taken a sting out of their early play here, haven't we? Which we needed to do because they were getting a little bit of head of steam up, wasn't they? The crowd were bang up for it. They had a few corners, put us under a little bit of pressure. And we were kind of struggling a little bit to get a grip in the game, but we've been better in the last few minutes. We've got a few passes together, kept the ball in the Lons half. It looks as though we've settled in a little bit now, which is good. Anyway, the goalkeeper there kicks it long, but it's far too long. It's going to run all the way through to goalkeeper David Raya. And my streams froze. Oh, and there's a goal. There's been a goal. I missed the goal because my stream froze. It is Gabriel Jesus, 14 minutes. I missed it. Sorry, guys. My stream went all stupid. But the good news is, it is, of course. It is 1-0 to the Arsenal. Just as me feed decided to freeze, we scored, and it looked like a decent little finish. I just saw a little brief replay of it there. Gabriel Jesus slotted it home, his third goal of the season. Alan says there, Gabby, indeed. It was Gabby. Offroad says yes. Mark C says there, simple move downfield, nice finish into the corner. Nick Nack says, delightful finish from Jesus, hit it early and caught the keeper by surprise. Nathan says, tidy finish. Nick Nack says, what minute? Well, now I'm on 15 and a half minutes now. My other stream kept freezing, but this one seems to be better now. Or maybe it's just the goal that's freed it up. You know, Gabriel over on that far side plays it forward, but Lons win the header. They've won quite a lot of headers, haven't they, so far in this game? That seems to be their tactic. Anyway, they're coming forward again, and they've won themselves another corner off Gabriel. They've responded well to going behind, haven't they, Lons? Which is good for them. Offro says they keep forgetting Richard is way behind. We'll have to curb enthusiasm when we score again. I mean, I'm not way behind now. I'm not really sure. I don't know what minute we were actually in. I'm in 16th minute now, just gone 16 minutes. So I might be a little bit behind, but that's fine. I'd rather be behind than pay for Sky and BT, that's for certain. Anyway, the boys now back with goalkeeper David Ray, who's all in yellow, actually. I do like to pick on the colours of the goalkeeper's kits. And Arsenal's goalkeeper's all in yellow, which is nice, isn't it? Like bright yellow, which is good. And Arsenal coming forward again, looking to double the lead. The Lons goalkeeper, by the way, is in light blue, just to clear that up for you. Offo says they're Man U winning, are they? Well, you know, they need to win their game, don't they? Because they lost, of course, first time out against Bayern Munich. Your home games in the group stage are so important, aren't they? I mean, you should look for 9 points, but I mean, if you get sort of 7 points from your 3 home games, you're probably going to qualify through, aren't you? Because then you only need to win one of your away games, don't you? Anyway, Lons are coming forward now. They certainly haven't made it easy for us, have they, in this first half, Lons? They are playing pretty well, but Arsenal have got that goal and are looking in control of this game. We've just picked the ball up again in midfield. Martin, Ødegaard. As Alan said before, I can't agree. If we can get a couple of goals in this first half, 2 or 3 up at half time, make some changes, rest some players ahead of Sunday, and it's happy days, isn't it? The last thing we want is to have to keep all these players on to the end because we're battling for a result. So, and we've got the perfect start, haven't we? Let's be honest. Correa says they're a win for us. Well, let's hope it's a win for us. It's going well so far, but there's a long way to go yet. Nick Nat says there could be that the quality of finishing tonight will prove the difference between the two teams. Yeah, maybe. It is Højlund who scored for Manchester United. Their new signing, of course, that's his first goal for Man United. Certainly, it'll be. Well, it must be his first or his second, right? I think it might well be his first goal. So he's off and running, isn't he? Just like Havertz is off and running for us. And Man United are winning as they have to do. I mean, we're not in a position where we have to win this game. It'd be great to win. A draw wouldn't be a disaster, would it? Anyway, they're coming forward again, Lons. Another cross into the box. Oh, it goes all the way through. Zinchenko at the far post there almost makes a bit of a meal of that, actually. In fact, he has done because the clearance has gone more up than out. Tommy has to put under a bit of pressure, but Arsenal do get the ball clear with Saka. And another Lons attack has come to nothing, although they do look very dangerous, don't they, when they're coming forward. They're very direct and very physical at getting the ball wide and putting crosses in. It is kind of a style of football that I quite enjoy watching. It reminds me of the 1980s, really. But anyway, it hasn't proved to be too effective so far tonight, anyway. And we've defended those balls into the box pretty well. So we'll see what is going on here. Now Arsenal back in possession again. And the ball goes back to David Raya just outside the Arsenal penalty. In fact, it's green, not yellow. It's just my telly makes it look like it's green until it actually looks like it's yellow until you close up. Anyway, also coming forward again. Jesus there finds Bukayo Saka inside the centre circle, spreads it out to that far side. Trossard plays it in to Kai Havertz, forward to Bukayo Saka's popped up on the left-hand side. Little back heel there, finds Trossard again, just inside the penalty area, plays it back to Zinchenko. Now it's back with Declan Rice. This is good from Arsenal. Tomiyasu. Now it's on this near side with Gabriel Jesus, the Arsenal goal scorer, plays the ball back though to William Saliba. And now it's back again to Tomiyasu on this near side. Ball dinked over the top. Kai Havertz, it is with a shot. Oh, good save actually. Havertz there nearly got his second goal in consecutive games. It was Samba with the save for Nottingham Forest. A lovely ball over the top. I think that was Declan Rice's ball. And a first-time shot from Kai Havertz. And a good save actually there from the goalkeeper at the near post. That was nearly a big moment for Havertz. Imagine him scoring 2 goals in 2 games. Well, that would make a few people sit up and take notice, wouldn't it? After the terrible start to his Arsenal career he's had. But it is Lens 0, Arsenal 1, as you can see. It was Gabriel Jesus with the goal. Now Saka's coming forward again on his near side. And he's won Arsenal a throw midway inside the Lens half. That was a great effort there from Kai Havertz. A decent save. Good volley actually there of his left foot, and the goalkeeper just punched it out. Kept his eye on the ball there, Kai Havertz. Got a decent enough connection with it. He tried to sort of place it in the corner rather than blasting it. The goalkeeper made a good save. The ball's now back with David Raya again. We've played 21 minutes here in the north of France. It is Lens 0, Arsenal 1. Alan says there, Napoli doing Real 1-0. Yeah, but there's still loads of time left. Nick Nat says Burnley 1 up against Luton. That would be Burnley's first win, wouldn't it? I mean, Luton had a win at the weekend, which was a bit of a surprise. Offroad says they're saying Rashford goal offside, but VAR have allowed it. Well, there you go. You know, VAR, they're not going to disallow any more goals for offside, are they, in case they're wrong? Nick Nack says there, more games you win early in group means you can rotate more in the latter games. Yeah, I mean, assuming that you've gone through. But yeah, I think if we win this game tonight and get at least a draw in Sevilla, then you have to say that we're pretty much through, aren't we? And then it makes the last 3 games a lot easier. And then, yeah, maybe we can rotate a little bit. I'm not saying that Arteta would necessarily do that, though, because I say he doesn't like making too many changes, does he, to his team? And Arsenal coming forward again. Martin Odegaard plays it forward to Jesus, but he was brushed off the ball there quite easily. He sort of complained a little bit to the referee that he thought it was a foul, but I don't think it was. The ball's gone back to goalkeeper Samba, and he plays it out to this near side. And Lens have responded pretty well to going behind, haven't they? Let's be honest. They've responded pretty well. And they've won a throw now on this near side, which Machado is going to take, the Colombian defender. Mikel Arteta sitting down in his little dugout, actually, for a change. He's normally outside, isn't he, on the edge of his technical area, but he's sitting in the box there chatting to Albert. And Lens are now coming forward again over on that far side. They've played some nice football, Lens, you have to say. They're coming forward again here over on that far side, across the near post, a volley over the top. Another chance there. Again, it's a cross. They're getting the ball wide, putting it into the box early, aren't they? And they've done it quite effectively in these opening 20-odd minutes. And that was a volley there from Thomason again, who seems to be on the end of everything at the minute, but he couldn't keep that down. And it's gone over the top of the crossbar. Terry says, evening, Richard, all in the chat. Sorry, been listening since the start. But me and Dolly was having a try. Well, you know, you can't be late, Terry, can you? Because, you know, you moaned at me enough, didn't you? Last week when I was late, but I wasn't really late. I just couldn't make the start because the game. What was I doing last week? That I can't remember now. Anyway, doesn't matter, does it? Galatasaray have some decent players in their squad, says Nick. Now they've equalised. It's Zaha with the goal, and And there you go. He isn't Zaha. There he is. He's just scored. So there you go. Anyway, Arsenal coming forward again. We're midway through this first half. Lons 0, Arsenal 1. Gabriel Jesus with the goal after 14 minutes. And Arsenal looking to get home that advantage. Terry says, "I was here." I was, well, yeah. Unless you've got proof, Terry, we can't believe you, can we? Anyway, Arsenal now. So, that's a poor ball out from Raya actually, and Lons have got an opportunity, have they, to score. It's a good ball into the box. There's a chance here. Curled in. Oh, that is a good finish. Lons have got a goal. That was a disaster from an Arsenal perspective. The goalkeeper, David Raya's clearance wasn't great. And 24 minutes on the clock, and Lons have equalised. Sloppy play that was from Arsenal. A poor ball out of defence. You have to say that Lons probably deserve a goal from the way they've played, but a really poor goal it was to concede. I'm not sure who scored it, actually. Is it Thomason? Because if he's been the most dangerous player, I think it is Adrian Thomason with the goal. And I won't be happy with that, will he? David Raya's clearance there didn't really give Tomiyasu much chance, did it? It's a very poor clearance. Cut out very easily. Ball played over the top. Nice play, actually. And then Thomason is there with the finish. A good finish, actually. Curled it past David Raya. We were caught out there, really, by losing the ball. And it is a good finish. And Lons are level midway through this first half. Curled that into the far corner. Offroad says Ramsdale will be grinning. Well, he's got nothing to grin about, has he? Because he's done that many times, hasn't he? At least Raya's clearance, when it was cut out, was nearly on the halfway line. Ramsdale passes to the opposition on the edge of his own penalty area, usually, doesn't he? There you go. Nick Nack says, there goes my prediction. Well, my prediction is still on. In fact, earlier on today, I did say 1-1 before I'd seen the team. So, but it's very early to stay at 1-1, isn't it? Let's be honest. I'm sure Arsenal are going to come back with another goal. Kai Havertz puts the ball into the box. Headed out, though, only as far as Declan Rice. But again, Lons clear the ball away. Off-road says, where is corrupt VAR when you need them? Well, there was nothing they could have really disallowed that goal for, was there? Just a mistake, wasn't it? A mistake from Arsenal. We've just given the ball away again, or almost, actually. That one just managed to come through at Tomiyasu. And Arsenal just having a little bit of a wobble here. 26 minutes played. We've conceded the equaliser. We just had a little dodgy spell for a couple of minutes, but we're back in possession again over on that far side. Let's hope that we can soon brush that off. Tomiyasu now in possession, finds Bukayo Saka on his near side, gets it back again. Tomiyasu, you can't blame him for that. He was beaten to the ball, but it wasn't a great ball to him from David Raya. It was rather telegraphed, and the defender was able to nip in and pinch it away, and it's led to us conceding a goal. The first goal we've conceded in the Champions League this season, and the first goal we've conceded in the Champions League since 2017, when Bayern Munich scored 5 at the Emirates. But the memory of that's still very strong, isn't it, for those of us who can remember it? Nick Nack says there, that goal has just got the crowd going again. Yeah, we just quietened them down. And that's what happens in football, isn't it? That's football for you, isn't it? Anyway, Arsenal haven't managed to deal with a ball out. A shot comes in, but this one is comfortably into the arms of goalkeeper David Raya this time. But again, Arsenal didn't really clear their lines particularly well. And a shot came in there, but David Raya made a good save. Some full-time scores from earlier in the Champions League: Union Berlin 2, Braga 3, Salzburg 0, Real Sociedad 2. And then the latest scores: FC Copenhagen 0, Bayern Munich 0, Manchester United 1, Galatasaray 1, as we've already seen. Obviously, Lons 1, Arsenal 1, as we know. PSV Eindhoven 0, Sevilla 0. So that game's going in our favour, really, isn't it? Napoli 1, Real Madrid 0, as we said. Inter 0, Benfica 0 as well. So there you is sort of scores from the Champions League tonight, in tonight's games. And of course, there's more Champions League action tomorrow. Newcastle, of course, their first Champions League game at St James's Park for 20 years. They are playing PSG, of course, and Mbappe. So that's going to be interesting, isn't it? Tomorrow night, we are doing the Arsenal Women's Show, actually, just to remind you, just because we can't do it Friday, of course, because the game's on against Manchester United. So tomorrow night, we are going to be here looking back at the disastrous result against Liverpool on Sunday, looking ahead to the Manchester United game, and a few other talking points as well. from the Arsenal women's team. That's tomorrow night at 7:30. So what you want to do is come and join us for that 7:30, and then we'll be on for about, I don't know, an hour or so, and then watch the rest of the Newcastle game. That's the plan for tomorrow, isn't it? So that's what we're going to do. Off-road says there, we miss White. He links with Saka. Yeah, he does. But the reason why he links with Saka is because they've played together now for over a year. And Tomiyasu's been in and out of the team and hasn't got a run. So, of course, he's not going to link up as well, is he? I'd like to see Tomiyasu given a run because I think when he first came into the team, he linked up really well with Saka, didn't he? And then they didn't. Obviously, he got injured and he was out of the team. Nick Neck says he's White injured and just been rested. He's on the bench, so I'm assuming he's just rested. We have to rotate the squad a little bit, don't we? You can't play the same 11 players every single game. We have to rest them, especially bearing in mind the opposition on Sunday. Mark C says it's annoying that 30 seconds before Len scored, we're on the edge of their box, but dallied about with it, and we end up passing it all the way back. Once again, we bring a goal upon ourselves. Yeah, but that's our style, isn't it? It's frustrating for me because we get the ball forward, and what we would rather do, rather than take a risk trying to get a ball into the box, we just want to play it safe and keep possession. So we end up going backwards. We do it a lot. And on this particular occasion, it's cost us because we've given the ball away and they've scored. And we've done that before, and we'll do it again. Absolutely, we will. Nathan says, I've not created enough. No, it's only, apart from the goal, it's only that Kai Havertz volley. That's all we really created, isn't it? It's all their goalies had to do. Nick Nack says, I was never going to be a walk in the park. This guy. Absolutely not. No. No away game in the Champions League is going to be easy, is it? Let's be honest. And you've got to be on your game to get a result. And we've been a little bit sloppy. We've played some nice little football at times. But again, as Mark said there, and I totally agree, we do tend to do that a lot. We would rather keep possession and go backwards with a safe pass rather than try to create something. And that's why we maybe sometimes don't always create chances, do we? Off-road says there's Saka hobbling again. He does it every game. Yeah, well, he does get kicked about every game. Anyway, Arsenal coming forward now. It is Saka on this near side, not moving too freely. Tomiyasu's outside him. Tomiyasu now is just going to be a moment for Arsenal. Chips it into the edge of the 6-yard box, headed away, and Lons deal with that. That was a nice move, though, from Arsenal, but Tomiyasu's cross there maybe wasn't directed into a dangerous enough area, and it was comfortably cleared away. Nick Nack says quality should show through in the end, hopefully. It should do, but how many times have we seen kind of cup shocks? I mean, not that this would be a massive shock if Arsenal lost this game, but do you know what I mean? Sometimes the lesser of the two teams wins games quite a lot because that happens in football, especially when they're at home with their crowd on them and stuff like that. You know, it's sometimes they say that the crowd's a 12th man, and quite often it can be. Anyway, Lon's coming forward again, but that wasn't a good ball, and William Slee was able to play it back to David Raya. His clearance goes long through the middle. In fact, it doesn't go to anyone other than all the way through to Bryce Samba. And Saka's gone down now, and he will need some treatment. And Nathan says Zinchenko has done that a fair bit in this game. He keeps turning with the ball and plays it. But yeah, he does. Yeah, he does that a lot, not just in this game. Nick Nack says doesn't look good for Saka. It doesn't, but it seems like every game recently he's coming off, or at the end of the game, and saying, "Oh, he's got an injury," and he starts the next game. Now, this could be, he hasn't missed a Premier League game, has he, for about 2.5 years. And the one you don't want him to miss is the game on Sunday. And he's got injured here. Not quite sure how that happened, actually, whether it was that incident a bit earlier, because he looks like he's been limping for a little while, doesn't he? It's not like he's just been limping there. He was limping for about 5 minutes before. Off-road says, I would rather Saka go off and rest for Man City, bring ESR on. Well, he'll bring Nelson on one. He won't bring ESR on this early in the game. Absolutely no chance. Nick Nack says probably needs a break. Yeah, he probably does need a break, but he doesn't get one, does he? He's the one player. Well, he's not the only one player, but he's one of the players, isn't he, that you know is going to start every game. But he's hobbling away now, and I don't think he's going to be able to continue. In fact, he isn't. It's Fabio Vieira's coming on. So Bukayo Saka's night is over within just over half an hour. And it's going to be Fabio Vieira. So it wasn't even Reece Nelson. It's Fabio Vieira who's coming on, which I find strange because that's not really Fabio Vieira's position, is it? Unless they're going to switch Kai Havertz over to the right-hand side and put Fabio Vieira more where Kai Havertz has been playing. I'm not sure because I don't think Fabio Vieira is really a right-sided. I know he's left-footed like Saka, but he can't play that role, can he, in that same way? So I'm not sure if that's going to be where he's going to play. But we'll soon see. But it is Fabio Vieira coming on. Reece Nelson would have been the obvious. But you see, again, Mikel Arteta's not obvious, is he? He won't make the obvious change. The obvious change, isn't it, is to bring on Reece Nelson, because that's where he plays. That's his position. But no, he has to pick a player that isn't their position and try to be clever and overthink things again. And it may well prove to be costly. Anyway, Tomiyasu's clearance there under pressure a bit. Arsenal trying to play out from the back. Nick Nack says there, quality finish from Tom Arson. It was a very good finish. Offo says we have zero threat now on the right. Well, I'd have brought Reece Nelson on because Reece Nelson, that's his natural position. And it looks like Fabio Vieira is playing on that right hand side. Sometimes I wonder what goes on in Mikel Arteta's head. I wonder what his thinking process is. We like to hear what VAR have had to say. I'd be quite interested to get into Mikel Arteta's brain sometimes and what was he thinking there to make that change as opposed to bringing on Reece Nelson? I do not know. Anyway, no doubt Fabio Vieira will score a couple of goals now. Anyway, Arsenal are coming forward now with Martin Ødegaard. Now it's with Jesus very deep. The Arsenal centre forward tends to play deep, doesn't he? And Arsenal in possession again, looking to try to regain the lead, but it has been a difficult first half. It was Trossard there trying to get it over on that far side. He's won Arsenal a corner as he hurdled over the challenge. Terry says Trossard bad first touch. Well, it took it a bit too far ahead of him. Yeah. It also got a corner though. Let's see if we can actually score from a corner, which we haven't done for quite a while. It's going to be Martin Ødegaard to take this one, obviously, with no Saka. Nick Nack says there, get the feeling you need to hit them faster on the break. Yeah, well, we don't tend to do that, do we? We're very slow and methodical in the way that we play. And that's just the way that it is, isn't it? Anyway, Fabio Vieira then finds Zinchenko, who's in a very central position for Arsenal. And then the feeders throws again, which it's done a few times in this first half. Let me see if I can go back to one of the other ones. Let's see. Gabriel must have had a chance there. I've just got a stream back there, and the ball is it gone out for a goal kick to Lons? It has. We've played 36 minutes. Mark C says there, poor man management by Arteta. He should bloody recognise when players need a rest. Yeah, players can get injured at any time, I suppose. But I think the worst thing there is the fact that he's brought on Fabio Vieira, not Reece Nelson. For me, Reece Nelson was the obvious replacement. But anyway, I think Arsenal got a free kick. Not sure why, but anyway, we're coming forward again. Ball played to this near side to Tomiyasu. Plays it out to Fabio Vieira, playing in the Bukayo Saka position. Terry says Arteta isn't good for Saka's career. Well, I mean, Saka's been good for Arteta's career, hasn't he? Because he saved him his job a couple of years ago. But yeah, I don't think Arteta has been very good for a few players' career. Emil Smith-Rowe being the main one. I mean, did anybody see that video of Emil Smith-Rowe after the game on Saturday against Bournemouth when he looked really, really upset, didn't he? And he had to be consoled. And people were saying that was because he missed that chance at the end of the game. But I don't think it's because of that alone. He's very, very... You could see by his interview after the Brentford game, he's very, very unhappy. And it's almost like, what has he got to prove to Arteta? He shouldn't have to prove anything, but it seems as though he has to. And you can see it's affecting him. And I feel really sorry for him, actually. And he's just not getting opportunities. And maybe for his career, he needs to leave. I don't want him to leave. He's a brilliant player. But he's never going to get the opportunity to play in this team because Mikel Arteta doesn't believe he can fit the system, even though he helped keep him in a job. Anyway, also coming forward now, Fabio Vieira. It looks like he's going to stick to this near touchline. We know Bukayo Saka gets the ball there and he cuts in, doesn't he, and runs it. Whereas Fabio Vieira is quite happy just to sit on that touchline when he's got the ball. Terry says, sad to see us. It is very sad. Yeah, I was really upset when I saw that video against Bournemouth. In fact, the interview after the Brentford game upset me because you could see how upset he was talking about it, about what he's having to work on in training. It's like, come on, what's going on with that? Nick Nack says, ESR, we wanting a transfer soon. Well, I don't know. I don't think he's going to want a transfer. I don't think he's going to have any option other than to get a transfer because he's just not going to play enough games. He's not going to play enough minutes under this manager. He's just not. It's obvious now, isn't it? whatever opportunity there is, Kai Havertz is going to have, isn't he now? And there you go. So yeah, you got to feel sorry for him. Nick Nack says there, strange how he did so well. There's suddenly can't get looking. Well, he got injured, didn't he? That was the first issue. He got injured initially, and he did have a few injury problems, and he never got back in the team. And I think he had a longer term injury and what have you. And now he's fit. He's still not been able to get back in the team, is he? And you could say, well, the team's been winning, but squad rotation is so important now in the Premier League. It's not like the old days when you had your first 11, and if you won, that same 11 would start the next game until they lost, and then the manager would make some changes, or unless someone got injured. Whereas now, with squad rotation, everyone in the squad should be getting a lot of minutes with the number of games that we've got, and that's not really happening, is it? I mean, you think that was ESR's first start in 499 days last week against Brentford, and he did okay, and he hasn't really had looking since. He got a few minutes in the game on Saturday, and I very much doubt he's going to come on now because we've had to make one sub already. So Mikel Arteta won't make what he would consider a luxury sub, which he seems to think ESR is. But yeah, that's not going to end well, is it? I don't think for anybody. Anyway, Lons are trying to come forward again down this near side. They are dangerous. They're a dangerous side, very direct. Actually, the referee's given, is it an offside he's given? Anyway, I'm not too sure now. Nick Nack says Real Madrid are 2-1 up now. Goals from Vinicius and Bellingham. Well, there you go. You see, that's why Real Madrid are one of the best sides in Europe, aren't they? Because when it comes to the crunch, they're able to do stuff like that, aren't they? I did say it was a bit early for them to be 1-0 down. You don't want to be 1-0 up against a team like that too early, do you? It gives them too much time to come back. But anyway, let's see what this free kick can bring. David Raya takes it long towards the edge of the Lons penalty area. But again, it's a Lons defender, heads it away. They're a very big team, aren't they? Physical. We've got 5 minutes left of the first half. It is Lons 1, Arsenal 1. Gabriel Jesus after 14 minutes. And then it was Adrian Thomason got the equaliser. In fact, they're giving a free kick there to Lons when the Lons defender had hold of Kai Havertz's shirt. Anyway, there you go. The crowd are up for it. You can see them bouncing there behind the goal with their flags. And yeah, they're enjoying themselves, aren't they? But we've allowed them to enjoy themselves by gifting them that goal. But that free kick got all the way through to David Raya. His mistake, you have to say it was a goalkeeping mistake for the goal, is pass out the back. And again, we've played it out from the back and played ourselves into trouble. And Lons again are coming forward, but Arsenal do manage to win the ball back. Now we can break with Zinchenko through the middle. He plays it out to the far side to Leandro Trossard. Terry says now Arteta wants to bring in world beater Calvin Phillips. He needs to go. Well, yeah, Calvin Phillips. He literally will buy anyone from Man City, won't he? Even though I don't think he was even manager. He was even at Man City when Calvin Phillips was there, was he? But anyway, seems like any player from Man City he'll have. Pep just gives him his cast-offs, doesn't he? Player that's not good enough to get in Man City's team. Yeah, here you go, Mick. You can have him. I don't need him. You can have him. There you go. That'll sort you out. That's what's happening, isn't it? Pep's just laughing at it, I think. Anyway, William Saliba now in possession for Arsenal, plays the ball back to Gabriel. That's with Kai Havertz over on that far side, touches it off to Jesus. And now Arsenal still in possession, but not really progressing too much. But we are now. That's a good ball forward. Trossard plays it into Martin Ødegaard, flicks it out to that far side, but he was under a bit of pressure there. It wasn't a great ball, although Lons make a bit of a meal of clearing it, actually. Nathan says there, need to go up a gear. We do. We need to go up a couple of gears here because it's been quite sloppy. Anyway, there's been Trossard there. Was he fouled? In fact, the referee again has given a foul to Lons when it looked as though the Lons player fouled Trossard. The referee, by the way, is called Marco Guido. So he sounds like he might well be Italian, doesn't he? But anyway, Marco Guido is the ref, and he's been quite poor. But then what do you expect? Nick Nack says there, has felt like quite a lethargic performance. Yeah, no, you're right, it has done. Terry says, believe it or not, Phillips has worse stats than Havertz. And that takes some beating. Well, I mean, Havertz has got a good stat now. He's got a goal, hasn't he? which we were all excited about, wasn't we, when he was gifted that penalty against Bournemouth? Because that's what a nice bunch we are, you see. Our players are such a nice bunch of lads, aren't they? They'll do anything for their mate. Let their mate have a goal. Don't worry about winning any trophies. No, that's not important. Just keep everybody happy. That's what Arteta wants, doesn't he? He should be running a hippie commune, shouldn't he? Let's all be happy. Let's all peace out. Let's not upset anybody. And that's what we want. I think that says they're a different type of players. Oh, yeah, they are totally different type of players, yeah. Anyway, Arsenal coming forward now. Gabriel Jesus finds Fabio Vieira, plays it again to Jesus in this corner, and then he's tackled, and it is a throw to Arsenal just up from the corner flag as we approach half time. Last 30 seconds of this first half. Fro says here, Arteta just wants to bring all the worst Premier League players to the Emirates. The fans need to turn on him. Trouble is, modern young Arsenal fans have zero wisdom. I mean, you're not wrong, but the fact is we are unbeaten in 10 games this season. It does seem strange to be wanting to sack the manager. I'm kind of with you because Arteta doesn't convince me at all. I'm not convinced by anything that he does. I think he makes some terrible decisions. He bottles it when the going gets tough, and he seems to want this really, really happy environment, which is fine, but we lack winners. We lack that winning mentality as a result of that, don't we? And that's what you need. I mean, you look at the Invincible team, for example, you know, I'm not saying those players didn't like each other and didn't get on with each other, because I'm sure most of them did, but you had some right nasty people in that team, didn't you? Martin Keown was there training with them, Thierry Henry had a streak in him, Dennis Bergkamp, but these were all winners. They were all winners. Patrick Vieira, players that would do anything to win a game. And this team here, they're too nice. They're too nice. And people might like nice, and that's fair enough. But nice doesn't win you the big trophies. It doesn't. And that's where we are. And unfortunately, that's where we are. That's what he wants. He wants a nice team. But you don't get anywhere being nice. Anyway, Martin Odegaard now looking to come forward. And he kind of sums it up for me. The ball at far post, a shot comes in. Jesus again fires it over the crossbar. It's Gabriel, sorry. What's he doing up there? We're supposed to be on a free kick, didn't we? Martin Odegaard's cross. It was flicked on. It fell to Gabriel. First time. It was Jesus, wasn't it, who had that volley? It was Jesus with a volley, yeah. I thought it was. My eyes were deceiving me there. Nathan says there, for me, Phillips is a decent player. He has only been fit for a certain amount of games over the last few seasons, and that's the number of games he'll get at City, so it's a good fit, really. Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand why players want to sit on the bench. Terry says, Nick Nat, they're both crap. Not really hard not to compare. Nick Nat says, decent chance for Jay. It was a good chance, yeah. I mean, it was a difficult chance, but it was a decent chance. Yeah, had he been able to keep it down, he may well have scored a second goal. But anyway, Lons are in possession. It's going to be 2 minutes of stoppage time. In fact, we've nearly played that 2 minutes now. In fact, we don't even get the 2 minutes because the referee's blown the whistle. So it is half time. Here in Northern France, it is Lens 1, Arsenal 1. Not really a great Arsenal performance, was it? We got the boost of the early goal. Jesus slotting home after just 14 minutes after Lens had started really well. But that didn't really change too much, did it? And Lens continued to look dangerous, and they equalised 25 minutes in. It was probably their most dangerous player, Adrian Thomas, and it was with a good finish after a clearance from David Raya had been cut out, put us under pressure, and Thomason scored. So not really a fantastic Arsenal performance in that first half, was it? Very, very slow moving the ball. As it was pointed out, lethargic. Whatever Nick Nack said that, lethargic. That's a good way to describe it because that's exactly what it was. Nathan says they need an injection of energy, felt a bit slow and passive. Yeah, but that's kind of where we've been most of the season. Most of our performances have been like that, haven't they? They've been passive and slow. And in the end, we've had the quality to win most of the games. But, I look at when the fixtures came out back in the summer, I looked at the games and thought, I'm not surprised that we haven't lost yet in the Premier League. Looking at the fixtures, there was no game there up until Man City on Sunday. Up until the Man City game, I looked at the fixtures and thought, you know what, that's not a bad set of fixtures. That, we should be okay with them. We should pick up a lot of points. And we have done. So we haven't exactly got any surprise points. Dropping the points against Fulham was a shock. We should have won that game. Wasn't expecting a draw there. I thought we'd win that game, and we should have done. The draw with Tottenham wasn't a disaster. Yes, we should have we're in a position to win that game. But looking at the results and the fixtures that we've got, I think fair enough. You know, we're probably roughly where the number of points I expected us to have. And Sunday's a big test, isn't it? So let's see if we can get a result, an unexpected result that you'd look at. That's the game we look at. I think we're probably not going to get anything from that. So let's see if we can. But you know, the same with the Champions League. You know, we knew we'd beat PSV. We did. And we should really be beating Lons, shouldn't we? Let's be honest, but we haven't done. Nick Nack says there's 70% possession, but not creating anything. We're not creating much now. We've had, 3 chances. The goal, Kai Havertz's effort, which brought out a good save from the goalkeeper, and then that Jesus one at the end where he fired over the top. Terry says it wasn't very impressive, but I'm glad after Havertz won the goal the weekend, he's tearing Lons apart now. I can see why Arteta bought him. But yeah, exactly. But no, I mean, I don't think we can just look at Kai Havertz for that performance. I think everybody's been poor, really off the pace of the game, very slow, and like we said, not really good enough, is it? And if we want to, if we're going to progress in this Champions League this season, we're going to have to play a lot better than this, aren't we? Because let's be honest. There'll be a lot of the bigger teams in Europe be looking at this and thinking, you know, we said before that no one will want to play Arsenal in the knockout stage. We're looking at the way we've played tonight. There'll be a few teams wouldn't really be bothered, that they would feel they can get a result against us. But we will get better, I'm sure. But I keep saying it every week, and the performances aren't really getting any better. We've been better than the teams that we've played. And when we start coming up against teams where we're not better than the team that we've played, it's difficult, isn't it? We've got a question in the chat there that says, show the match. I mean, I would love to show you the match, Chris, but if I did, what would happen is the channel would get shut down, because I did that. I showed a replay of a goal a couple of years ago. Within 2 minutes of me showing that replay, the channel got shut down, and it was shut down for 6 weeks because of ridiculous copyright laws, which don't make any sense. Protects the rich and means that everybody else has to suffer. So unfortunately, I'd love to show you the game. I really would. I wish I could. But we'd just be shut down. As soon as I put it on, they'd shut the channel down, so it'd be pointless. And then I'd get a ban and probably a fine and God knows what else. Nick that says there's a tournament you can grow into. Real Madrid often used to start poorly and they end up winning the thing. Yeah, they do, but they've got a team and players and a manager that's got experience of doing that. We don't, and that's the difference, isn't it? I think that experience in winning. This is why I've never understood why any team and any manager that doesn't win much would throw away one of these so-called lesser cup competitions, because winning a cup gives you that feeling of winning something, and you want more and more of it, and it gets you to understand what it takes to win a big game, a cup final and stuff like that. And I never understand why teams want to just throw that chance away. To me, I try to win every single competition. You're not going to win them all. If you try to win them all, you might end up winning one. If you pick and choose which ones you want to take seriously, you end up throwing 2 of them, and then you've only got 2 left that you can win. And those 2, for me, aren't the 2 that we can win. We've got a lot more chance of winning the 2 domestic cups than we have of winning the Champions League or the Premier League. Let's be honest. I mean, I'm not being disrespectful to anybody. That's just the fact, isn't it? Man City in the Premier League are going to be an impossible object to get past, I think. And in the Champions League, there's 3 or 4 Man Cities that we'd have to get past, and I don't think we're quite at that level yet. We're not ready for that yet. So let's do the best that we can do, obviously, but let's look at trying to win one of the other 2 trophies, because they're the ones that we've got the better chance of winning, I think. But anyway, Terry says Havertz was worth every penny we paid for him if it was £500. It was a bit more than £500. Terry says that was a nightmare when you got shut down. It seemed a lifetime until you was back on live. Yeah, it was. I mean, it was unexpected. I didn't know that would happen. Just showing a replay of a goal. That's all it was. I didn't even show the game live. It was. I think it might have been actually after the game had finished, and they showed some replays of the goal, and I showed one. I turned the camera onto the screen. It showed the thing, and then literally within a minute, it got shut down. I mean, how they know? And it's funny because I uploaded a video last week that I did a vlog of the England Lionesses game, and because there happened to be a little bit of music that was played in the background in a little part of the video, it flagged it as a copyright issue. That's what it flagged it as. And the video hadn't even gone live. It just literally just uploaded. Within seconds of it uploaded, I got a thing saying copyright due to this bit of music. It's mad, really. But anyway, it is what it is. And I don't mind the odd copyright thing happening, but what I can't be doing with is being shut down again, because that wasn't much fun. And yeah, it was a long time. I'm sure it was something like 6 weeks that I couldn't stream live for. Luckily, it was at the end of the season, and it kind of came at the right time. But doing it now, it would completely blow the channel, because, yeah, you know, we're just starting to pick up for the season now, and wouldn't be great, would it? Alfo says, can you talk to YouTube? Well, no, you can't really. That's the problem. The only communication you can have with them, I sent them various different messages. The only way you can really communicate with them, and basically there was nothing that could be done. I breached copyright. I'd broken the there's like terms and conditions to have a channel on YouTube, and I'd broken them by showing copyrighted material that I wasn't allowed to show. I mean, to be fair, it wasn't really YouTube, it was the Premier League, or the FA, whatever. I think it might have been the Premier League. It was them that actually made that. They as soon as they flag it up, YouTube have to act, because it's part of YouTube's agreement, you see. So that's what they did. So the Premier League put in a strike on the channel to get it shut down for that period of time, and YouTube had to go along with that, because that's the rules. And I'd broken the rules from my end. I'd used copyrighted material, so it was a lesson for me. I now know what I can and what I can't get away with, and that's one thing I can't get away with, so I won't be able to do that again. I just thought showing a replay of a goal would be a nice thing for people that couldn't see it, but obviously you can't do nice things in this world without being punished, and that's just where it is. Alfred says, what about Rumble? Yeah, I mean, obviously Rumble is a little bit more lax on the rules and regulations, and I think if I was doing stuff where some of the more controversial topics, if I was covering on the channel, which I try not to do on YouTube too much, because I want to try and keep it football related, certainly on this channel. My other channel is more about lifestyle and vlogs and stuff like that, so I don't really want to do that either. I mean, I might start a different channel for some political stuff, which I'm very, very interested in. Maybe that would be something for Rumble, wouldn't it? But I think that YouTube's a pretty good platform for football, for streaming football, and doing live streams and that kind of stuff. And that's something that I'll stick with for the time being. But yeah, for a bit more controversial topics, I do think Rumble is the way to go, because they don't have the same restrictions as YouTube do. Bear in mind, YouTube's owned by Google, isn't it? So it's obvious that it's going to protect its own, isn't it? Because that's the way it goes. Whereas Rumble, of course, is owned independent, isn't it? That's why it's different. Terry says, wait until the end of the month when we lose free speech. Yeah. Or have we ever had free speech in the last 3 years? Well, I don't think we've ever really had free speech. See, free speech is quite interesting, and I will touch on this, although it's, I suppose, a slightly controversial topic. But free speech has never been free speech, is it? Free speech is you're only allowed to speak freely about topics that the elite agree with. As soon as you talk about as soon as you give opinions that are against that, then you're not allowed to. They'll shut you down, or whatever they'll do. You've only got to see what's happened to Russell Brand and loads of other people recently to see what will happen. And that's not about you can have opinions that they agree with, and that's fine. And you can go on, you can say the most horrible things about people, but if it's actually supporting the right agenda, it's fine. But if you can say something that's nowhere near as bad against the agenda, that's it. You've had it, haven't you? You're in trouble. That's unfortunately, that's the nature of it. And you're right, Terry. There isn't free speech. There's only one side of speech. You've got to look at. There's so many topics, isn't there, that they look at in particular, that they target. Obviously, there was all the stuff over COVID. There's stuff to do with transgender. There's stuff to do with race and all this kind of stuff. But it's all very one-sided, isn't it? You can give an opinion, a horrible opinion. If you're if you're from an ethnic minority, you give a horrible opinion about white people, that's fine. But if you're a white person and you give a not even as bad an opinion about black people, they're going to shut you down. And that just goes to show, doesn't it? It's not about free speech. It's about agendas, and it's about pushing certain opinions through. So now people believe that having one opinion about something is okay and acceptable, and having a different opinion about that same thing isn't acceptable. In actual fact, all opinions should be valid, and all opinions should be able to have discussions and debates about, because that's how you learn and you grow, and that's how you get to understand how things are. Whereas if you're only allowed one opinion of anything, you're never going to form your own. You're never going to form a level ground, are you? Because you're always going to be biased. Because if you're only hearing one side of everything, that should be how it is, should it? You should get to hear. You should get to hear both sides of everything, and then you can be free. Then everyone can be free to make their own mind up. Well, do I think that's right, or do I think that's right? Well, at the moment, you're pushed into one thing, aren't you? This is right and this is wrong. We're told what's right and wrong, and to me, that's not a healthy society to have. A healthy society is when everybody is allowed to give an opinion, and people can make their own mind up who they want to believe, and what they want to trust, and what they want to go along with, and that's how it should be. But it's not, because they're too scared that too many people, if that happened, too many people would maybe understand that actually what they've been telling us all this time isn't the right way, isn't true, and isn't the way we should be living our lives. So, and they can't afford that because they've got too much to lose, and that's why it happens, and that's why it's always happened. And I will never ever accept that. For me, I believe anybody should be allowed an opinion about anything, whether it's a popular opinion, if you like, or not. Everyone should be allowed to give an opinion, and if someone doesn't like it, that's their fault. I don't ever agree or go along with this saying I'm offended by this, I'm offended by it. No, you're not. But no, the point is you are offended. I haven't said anything, or someone hasn't said something that's offended you. You've been offended. That's your issue. And that's how it should be looked at. It should be looked at on the person who said the thing should be punished for that. You just don't have to be offended. But people say loads of things all the time, and I can look at it and think, oh, that was a bit like. But I accept that's what people. If that's what someone thinks, they're allowed to think that. And I'm not going to. People have said some horrible things to me, and I don't look at. I don't cry and think, oh, I'm offended. No, I don't really care. I don't care, because there's more important things to worry about, isn't it? Than what someone says or what someone thinks about you. It's not important. So. And if everybody kind of went along with that way, we wouldn't be in such a mess, would we, really? Let's be honest. But anyway, it's not going to happen, and that's a debate for maybe another time. Terry says, Richard, wear a green and pink wig and the Arsenal women's shirt, and you'll probably get away with showing the football live. Actually, yeah, that's probably true, actually. I probably would. Maybe wear a bit of makeup and stuff like that, pretend I'm a woman. I'll probably get to present it then, wouldn't I, actually? I'll probably get to present on the BBC if I did that. Maybe it's not bad. Actually, that's not a bad idea, Terry. Now that's actually made me think, because I'm thinking, isn't it? You can't have a men's football show now with a man's presenter. So maybe if I pretend I'm a woman, I might get an opportunity to present a football show on the telly, mightn't I? That might be the way forward, actually, Terry. That's a good idea. That's a plan. That I'm gonna have to look into that, aren't I? Offroad says, this is how communism starts, shut down the people. Exactly, yeah, that's where we are. We've been, to be honest with you, it's been like that for a long time. It's not just now, is it? It's not happened just now, recently. It's always been like that. Colonel says, I got copyrighted. Well, half my streams are, although couldn't care less. Don't see how you can copyright a song that I'm singing over the top. Makes me question. Like, yeah, you're right. I mean, they will literally. I mean, everything that I put on my channel, particularly when I'm out doing a vlog, right? I was at the game, that England Lionesses game. All of that material was mine. I filmed it all from the start to the finish, right? I filmed it all. It was my work. I edited the video. I did everything, right? My equipment, everything else. And they stick a copyright on, which means that video can't make money on the channel, because there was a 15-second clip of music that was playing in the background in the stadium while I was talking about something else. It was over the top. And it's like, I've lost out on the opportunity to earn money, because there's some mega rich corporation that owns that song can make money and I can't. It's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, Terry said there, whatever happened to Sticks and Stones? Well, they stopped, didn't they? Sticks and Stones. No, doesn't matter, does it? It's that they're not important anymore. Stabbing people's fine, isn't it? But you can't call someone a name, because that's fine. You'll get sent to prison if you call someone a name. But you stab someone, no, you'll get community service or something, won't you? That's what happens. Terry says, have some daffodils in your hair as well. That'll be like Morrissey, won't it? Offroad says, it got worse after Convy. That was a dry run. Yeah, no, I agree with you. 100%, I agree with you. Terry does as well. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I don't know if it was a dry run. It was it was definitely a plan. Anyway, the second half's underway. Some football's back on now, so we'll get onto politics maybe another day, because there's a lot to talk about, isn't there? And it's good that there's a few people in here that share. We all share views. We're not allowed to have those views, but we're not allowed to share them, are we? But anyway, the second half is off and underway, and I've just realised, because I don't have the sound on when the football's on, because I'm obviously doing this and I wouldn't hear anything. And I just realised they've got a female co-commentator as well, which, there you go, sums it up. So I need to grow my hair, put some makeup on, wear a dress, and I'll be fine. But anyway, we have got, as Nick Nack says, anyway, back to the football. Indeed, back to the football. The second half's off and underway. It is Lens 1, Arsenal 1 in the Champions League, and nothing's happened yet in the second half. We've only played 53 seconds, so you haven't missed anything. But Arsenal got a throw over on that far side, which Tomiyasu is going to take. He's just wiping the ball down. I don't know if he's got a long throw on him, was he? But anyway, he's inside his own half, so it'd be a hell of a long throw, wouldn't it, if he was going to throw that into the penalty area. He does throw it long up the line. It's headed out. It's going to be another throw to Arsenal. In fact, no, it's a throw to Lens, actually. It must have come off the back of Gabriel Jesus, and it is a Lens throw over on that far side there, left. Good header there, though, defensively there from William Saliba, but it's gone out for another throw again to Lens. We've played a minute and a half of the second period. Nothing's really happened as yet. A couple of throws over on that far side. That's about it, isn't it? That ball goes long. It's going to run all the way through, though, to David Raya. He's got the ball in his hands. You don't often see a goalkeeper kick the ball out of their hands like he used to, do you? And he's not going to this time out, because he's dropped it down onto the ground just outside the D. And he's going to probably try and play it short to somebody. And he does. He plays up this near side to Gabriel. And then Gabriel's ball up the line's cut out. And it is going to be a throw to Arsenal, which Zinchenko takes. And he's had to come from the centre of the pitch to the left-back position. Nick Nack says there, Lego man looking pensive. Well, I mean, he should be looking pensive, shouldn't he? Because it hasn't been a very good Arsenal performance, has it? Not been a very good Arsenal performance at all. And he's the manager, so he is responsible for that, isn't he? And that's the way it is. So we shall see. Anyway, Arsenal are now coming forward. Declan Rice plays the ball at that far side. It wasn't a great ball, but Jesus has kept it going. And now it's with Fabio Vieira. That's a poor ball from Vieira. And Lens have picked the ball up again. Nick Nack says there, Lens will feel they can win this up to Arsenal. Absolutely, they'll definitely feel that. I think from the start of the game, you felt that, didn't you? And Terry says, nice word, Nick Nack, yeah, Lego man. But Arsenal now looking to score again. Trossard, it's cleared off the line. Oh, no, it was saved, actually. Trossard there inside the area, showed really good feet. Got the ball, switched from his left to his right. And it looked like, was it cleared off the line by the defender behind him? I think it might have been. But Arsenal actually won that ball high out the pitch. It was Jesus initially. And then Trossard, lovely play from Trossard. Havertz set it up. In fact, it hit the defender. Was it the goalkeeper first? The goalie saved it with his legs. It then hit the defender and came back into the arms of the goalkeeper. So it was a good save, actually. But again, Trossard should actually have maybe done better there. He should maybe have scored. But anyway, Terry says, how did that not go in? Well, it didn't go in because it was a good save. And then the rebound off the defender back into the arms of the goalkeeper. It's Havertz who played the ball through to Trossard, actually. It was a good little ball from Havertz there. But anyway, Arsenal have now got a goal kick. The ball went up the other end and it's gone out. Nick Nack says, keeper got lucky. Well, he got lucky that it fell to the defender. Yeah, exactly. It could have easily fell to, I think it was Kai Havertz, actually. It was inside the penalty area. It could easily have fell to him, but it didn't. It fell to the defender, Danso, I think it was. And he was able to shuffle it back to the goalkeeper. It might have been Medina. I quite like Medina for Chando Medina, because I'm going to call him Funky Cold Medina. If anyone who remembers the song from late 1980s, early 1990s maybe, which was a very good song actually. I quite liked it. But anyway, that's his name, Medina. Anyway, Trossard again on this near side, having a run at this Lens defence, and he's fouled and he's won a free kick. See, Lens have been quite happy, haven't they, to stick a foot in, stop our flow, give away free kicks. They've been quite happy to do that. And it's unsettled us, hasn't it? I mean, we haven't been able to get too much rhythm and flow to our game. Terry says Havertz obviously didn't mean it. Well, I think he did. Nick Nack says positive start to the second half. But yeah, we're a little bit more on the front foot, aren't we? Had that one chance. Now we've got a free kick here on this near side. Martin Ødegaard is coming across to take it. It's about, what, 6, 7, maybe 10 yards in from that near touchline on this Arsenal left. Martin Ødegaard is going to swing this in. Looks like he's going to put that between a penalty and a penalty spot. And is anyone going to be attacking it for Arsenal? It's not a great ball, actually. Very low, flat, and cleared away by the Lens defence. But Arsenal have picked up the ball again with Fabio Vieira. Gabriel Jesus there, got a touch, takes him back. And again, we've kept possession but gone backwards, which we did a lot in that first half, didn't we? Now with Gabriel, plays it forward to Declan Rice. Now it's out to Zinchenko. Almost gets caught there, but keeps possession. It's gone all the way back to David Raya. And this is Arsenal's way, isn't it? Keep possession, try to draw the opposition in and then exploit the space behind. But Lens aren't really falling for it, are they? They're keeping their shape well, making it really difficult for us. But we also want to come forward now to this near side. Trossard cuts in field and then plays it out to that far side to Tomiyasu. Keeps it moving to Vieira, infield to Ødegaard, back to Tomiyasu. This is good possession from Arsenal now. We've had possession probably for the last 2 or 3 minutes, but again, we haven't created a chance. We might do now. Ball's out again over on that far side. Gabriel Jesus lines up across. It is across the near post. Diving header out by the Lens at defence by Danso again. Kevin Danso, the Austrian. And Arsenal trying to come forward again with Kai Havertz, but he was tackled. And now Lens have got an opportunity to get the ball. A rare opportunity for them in this second half. We played 52 minutes. And since half-time, it has been all Arsenal. But just that one chance for Trossard there, which was well saved by the goalkeeper initially. And then the defender pushed it back into the goalkeeper's arms. And Lens now trying to play it out from the back. They go long this time. So the ball over the top. Oh, a good piece of defending there by William Saliba it was, or their striker there would have been in. And Lens have coming forward again. Arsenal have lost the ball. Could be a bit more trouble here for Arsenal. Lens now coming forward in this near side. Chip cross in, but it's all David Ray could have maybe picked it up, could he? He elected to punch it there, a bit strange. Nick Nack says there, Sevilla just scored, but disallowed by VAR. Oh, that's interesting, isn't it? So they're away in PSV, aren't they? See, PSV looked really poor last week, didn't they? So I'd be surprised if Sevilla don't win that game. And if we draw this, we'll of course be level with them with the double header to come. And of course, Lens have then got 2 games against PSV, and you'd imagine Lens should get 4 points at least against them. And then it's going to make them last 2 games a little bit interesting. I mean, should Lens win this game? Nathan says, a bit sloppy there. Yeah, we've been a little bit sloppy at times in this game, haven't we? We've given away some really bad possession. We've given away a bad goal as we tend to do. It's been a habit, hasn't it, giving away poor goals. Anyway, there's a free kick now to Lens over on that far side. Ball comes in towards the penalty spot, headed out. Was that Kai Havertz headed it out, actually? But anyway, Lens are coming forward again. Another ball whipped in. David Ray thought about coming for it. He didn't do. And Arsenal managed to scramble the ball clear. Nick Nack says, yeah, PSV are dominating the play so far, are they? Okay, well, they are at home, I suppose. Offroad says, Eddie will come on, Nick won, and that will give Arteta the right to play him all season. Well, he might well do. He may well do. He is on the bench, of course, Eddie Nketiah. But the whole squad's on the bench, aren't they? Cross came in there from that far side. Lens there. Again, it was Thomason. He's been lively, hasn't he? The goal scorer for Lens. He got a flick on there at the near post, but he couldn't direct it towards the goal. And it is a goal kick to Arsenal. 54 minutes played, so coming up for 10 minutes of this second half. It's been a little bit better from Arsenal overall, but Lens have just started to come back into this second half a little bit. But Arsenal now coming forward. Vieira plays it forward, looking for Jesus. Wasn't a great ball headed out by Lens. It is going to be a throw to Arsenal over on that far side. Is this game going to be finished the same way as our only other previous Champions League game here? That finished in a 1-1 draw as well, didn't it? And we led in that game as well. Off-road says, I remember an even worse Eddie McGoldrick. No, Eddie McGoldrick was actually all right. It didn't quite work out for him at Arsenal, and there was various reasons for that. He actually was on the. If you look on the show on the channel, you'll see there's a playlist called In Conversation With. There's a show with Eddie McGoldrick. He came on chatting about his career and that. Very interesting show. That it's worth watching that actually, and you might feel slightly differently about Eddie after that. Nick Nack says they're 38 games, never scored a goal. Eddie McGoldrick scored 1 goal for Arsenal against Standard Liège in the Cupwinners' Cup. But watch that if you haven't seen that show with Eddie McGoldrick, watch it because it is really good. He was really open, honest about things. A really good show it was. So definitely check that out. Offo says we get him from Palace. I thought he was terrible. Yeah, we did get him from Palace. Yeah, it didn't work for him at Arsenal really, and there's a few reasons for that, which he goes over on the show. And yeah, it didn't quite work for him at Arsenal. But if you look at his career before that, what I loved about his career, he started off in non-league and basically played through the divisions. In fact, I think he played 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st division as it was Premier League. In like about 5 years, he made that progression through at Northampton, then at Crystal Palace, and then at Arsenal. So it was a great rise for his career. And you know, it was always going to be tough getting to the very top level at Arsenal for him, and you know, it didn't work. You know, he admits it himself; it didn't quite work. But he was nowhere near as bad a player as maybe we all thought at the time. I was the same as you when I watched him play. I'm thinking I expected more because of what he had done at Crystal Palace, linking with Ian Wright and stuff like that. But you know, watch the show, and it might make you feel a little bit differently about it. And he's a nice guy. He's a great guy, Eddie McGoldrick. So I won't have a bad word said about him, even if he didn't quite hit the heights at Arsenal that he would have wanted as well. Like, he admits it himself. He knows it didn't quite work out as he would have liked, and that's the way it is sometimes, isn't it? Terry says, "Don't forget the Paul Davies show. That was brilliant." Yeah, Paul Davies was on as well. I mean, one of my favourite all-time players. It was an absolute pleasure having him on the show as well. That's a great show as well. Yeah, watch them all. There's some good ones on there actually, and a few Arsenal players that maybe are not quite as well known. Isaiah Rankin's been on, great Arsenal youth player, and Mark Flats as well. They both played for the first team. They're on as well. Nick Nack says FC Copenhagen are 1-0 up against Bayern, aren't they? Well, that group could be quite open, then, couldn't it? And Napoli have equalised. Well, see, none of these groups are going really to plan, are they? There's a few shock results and a few tight groups. And our group's looking quite tight now, tighter than perhaps it should have been. But anyway, we've played 58 minutes. It is still Lons 1, Arsenal 1. Not a lot's happened in the last 5 minutes. Actually, there's been a lot of possession of the ball from both teams, but in non-dangerous areas in the middle of the pitch. And neither team is threatening to take the lead at this moment in time. But there's still, 32 minutes to play. So there's plenty of time for somebody to make an impact in this game and score a goal and maybe win the game for their team, which could be a massive 3 points. If Lons were to win this, that would put them on 4 points. We'd be on 3. And then depending on how the Sevilla game goes on, we could actually be 3rd in the group, couldn't we, tonight? If Sevilla were to win and we were to lose this game, we'd end up being 3rd with a double header against Sevilla to come as well. So, let's not get thinking, we were saying before we should win the group. Well, yeah, we should, but if the next half hour doesn't go our way, we could find ourselves with a lot of work to do with 4 games to play, couldn't we? But anyway, the boys now back with Bryce Samba, the Lons goalkeeper, who's not really been put under enough pressure yet. Offo says, I remember the ginger donkey Willie Young. I do remember him, yeah. Of course, he's going to always be remembered for that foul on Paul Allen in the FA Cup final, isn't he? He was a no-nonsense defender, wasn't he? Let's put it that way, Willie Young. But yeah, he came from Tottenham, didn't he? We signed him from Tottenham, of course, because Terry Newell was our manager at the time, of course, knew him, didn't he, from... the ball just gone out there for a goal kick. Jesus couldn't keep that in. And we're coming up to the hour mark. No changes yet for Arsenal. I'm sure it won't be long until we do see Eddie Nketiah. And as Off-Road says before, yes, he will probably score a goal that wins us the game, and then that'll be that. Terry says, I loved Young when he took Paul out of an absolute classic. He was an absolute classic, yeah. Of course, that it's not often a player does something that results in the rules of the game changing. But it was, of course, that foul that brought in the red cards for professional fouls, because until then it wasn't. I think it was just a yellow card, wasn't it? And they changed the rule because of what Willie Young did. So, you know, not many players get a rule changed after him, do they? It should be called the Willie Young rule, shouldn't it, actually? It shouldn't be called the professional foul rule. It should be called the Willie Young rule. You've been Willie Young is what it should be called, shouldn't it? Because basically they changed the whole game. Nick Nack says Ipswich top of the Championship as things stand. It'd be nice to get them back in the Premier League, wouldn't it, Ipswich? I do love Ipswich as a club. Some great away days over the years. Offer says Sammy Nelson was a hard man, took no crap at all. Yeah, he was another hard. Well, some of them players that we had in that team. In fact, the 70s football was all about hard men, wasn't it? You couldn't get away with some of the players that play now. Wouldn't have survived in the 1970s, would they? When you're allowed to tackle, and they certainly did. Peter Storey was another one, wasn't he, for Arsenal? A little bit further back. Took no prisoners. Of course, that Leeds team, they were. I mean, dirty Leeds, of course, is what they're known as. They wouldn't get away with it now, would they? Playing like that. But that was 70s football. That's how it was. Sort of football I sort of grew up watching, really, when I was young, watching that football, and it was great, wasn't it? Let's be honest. It wasn't nowhere near as technical as it is now. The players weren't as fit. You know, look how players look these days. You know, they're all supreme athletes, aren't they? Whereas back in the 70s, you know, they looked like rock stars, and you know, they often played like rock stars as well, didn't they? And it seemed to be a lot more, I don't know, better for as a result. Anyway, Lon's coming forward now. Oh, just got a bit fortunate there. The ball hit the player on the back of the heel, and Arsenal able to scramble it away. But now Jesus at the other end, but he's brushed aside there by Danso, who's been an absolute rock at the back there for Lons, hasn't he? Nick Nack says it used to be a man's game. Oh, you can't say that now, though, Nick Nack, can you? What we said before, there's certain things not allowed to say. You can't call it a man's game anymore, can you? It's a person's game. That's what it is now. It used to be a man's game, and now it isn't. It's a person's game. Mark C said signed Pat Jennings the same summer as Willie Young, I believe. I think Willie Young came after, didn't he? Or was he before? And then because Pat Jennings came in the summer, didn't he? I think Pat Jennings was first, and then Willie Young came after. Because I think we bought 3 players from Tottenham. Because obviously Terry Neal had been manager of Tottenham, hadn't he, before? And I think he signed Pat Jennings, Willie Young, or was it Steve Walford as well? That worked out quite well, didn't it? I mean, Steve Walford maybe not so much, but certainly the other two worked out well, didn't they? Pat Jennings was fantastic, wasn't he? And Willie Young, as we mentioned, an uncompromising defender, shall we call him? Because he was, wasn't he? And Nick Nack says, pitches are much better now. Well, the pitches are much better now, but in a way, they were kind of more fun before, weren't they? You know, when you remember Derby County's pitch that time, they had to paint the penalty spot on before they took a penalty because how wet and boggy it was. Highbury's pitch used to be terrible, didn't it? I remember at one time it was awful. And now it's like an absolute carpet. Anyway, Lonzo through again. Is he offside or is he onside on this near side? Pulls the ball back. A shot comes in. Oh, into the side netting. Almost an opportunity there. It was Abdul Samid with the effort there. The Ghanaian almost looked as though Lonzo taken the lead there. In fact, I think he might have been offside. I'm not really sure if that was going to be given as offside. Decent pullback. Shot come in. Oh, side netting. Wow. If that curled a little bit more, that would have gone in. Nick Nack says just offside. I think he looks offside, didn't he? I'm not sure if it was given as offside because it's a goal kick, so it may well have counted. I'm not sure if VAR would have got involved. Nathan said that was poor. It should be 2-1 down. Yeah, we should be 2-1 down. I thought it was actually. I thought that was in, but it wasn't. And Arsenal really have lost their way a bit in this second half. We started brightly, as we did in the first half, got the early goal, and we've kind of started the second half brightly, and now we have fell away a little bit. We've lost our way in this game, and Lons are now looking the more likely team. We've played 64 minutes, and still Arsenal haven't made another change. Of course, the one enforced change. Saka's had to go off injured, and Fabio Vieira's come on, but we haven't actually made any other changes since then. I kind of felt that Mikel Arteta wouldn't make an early tactical change, having had to make one himself, forced into one. He doesn't tend to do that, does he? Anyway, Arsenal playing it out from the back again. Declan Rice is the most comfortable player there, is he? When he gets the ball on the edge of the box, you're not really worried, yeah. It's just if it goes to anyone else, the panic sets in. Anyway, Declan's got the ball again, bringing it forward for Arsenal. He's made a lot of ground, actually. Declan Rice over on that far side, touches it in field to Martin Odegaard. This is a rare Arsenal attack in the second half now. Declan Rice over on that far side, drills across in a dangerous ball. Defender puts it behind for a corner. Frankoveski puts it behind there for a corner. The pole, and wasn't really too sure there, was he? Did the safe thing, really, just get it away. If it's facing his own goal, it could have gone in. But anyway, it is going to be a corner to Arsenal. I think this might be first corner of the second half, potentially. Oh, no, I think it's a second one, isn't it? Anyway, Martin Odegaard's going to take it on this near side. So it's going to be an outswinger with his left foot. And the 6-yard box is quite empty. So Bryce Samba has got the freedom of that 6-yard box. I know that this ball's going to swing out anyway from Martin Odegaard. It does. Oh, it's the volley comes in. Good save, actually, there. I think, was it Declan Rice got on the end of that? That must have been a pre-planned routine, actually, and it almost paid off for Arsenal. We haven't scored many, have we, from set pieces this season, corners, but that one there, that was a good routine. Martin Odegaard's corner. I'm sure it was Declan Rice hit that volley, and Arsenal still coming forward now with Odegaard. Plays it through, looking for Havertz, but it was cut out, and now Lons can come forward themselves. Nick Nack said there, Arsenal just don't offer much threat from area balls. Now, that was probably why we didn't put an area ball into the box here. Mark C says there, both Havertz and Vieira need to get down the gym and start hitting the weights. Stone of muscle needed for each of them. Yeah, they are. They do seem to be pushed off the ball too easily, don't they? I mean, Fabio Vieira, we've always said that about. And I mean, Lons are quite a physical team, aren't they? They just showed the effort again there. Good save, actually. That was Tomiyasu. It was actually Tomiyasu, almost his first Arsenal goal. The goalkeeper, Samba, was going the wrong way, but managed to save it with his legs. That's a very good save, actually. Nathan says, good save there. It was a very good save. I mean, it was quite close to him, but he was kind of moving the other way, and had to adjust his legs. A good save it was. Terry said it was Tommy. And Nick Nack says, this is the French league, though. They should be able to cope. Well, yeah, we should be able to cope, but we haven't coped particularly well, have we? Anyway, the header comes in there from that corner. That was from Gabriel. It is quite dangerous from those situations, but that was a comfortable save, that one, from Bryce Samba, the goalkeeper there for Lons. And a much more comfortable save than the one before. Anyway, 3 Arsenal substitutes are warming up, about to come on. I mean, ready to come on. Can't quite see who they all are. But anyway, Lons are currently coming forward over on that far side. I'm trying to, but Trossard nips in. And now Declan Rice can, Tomiyasu can bring the ball forward. And he's just been, was he fouled? Man United have gone 2-1 up against Galatasaray. Højlund again, his second goal. So it said Luton lost again, the first Burnley win. Well, I'm not surprised. I'll be amazed if Luton stay up, to be honest, and Sheffield United. I think those two are definitely down, aren't they? And PSV are now losing to Sevilla as well. So, of course, that's our group, isn't it? Group B. Lons now coming forward themselves up this near side. A little bit of space here for Lons. They're going to put a cross in. That's what they do well. So cross comes in. Oh, it's a goal. They've scored again. Lons lead. 68 minutes played. And again, it was a cross into the box. And it's a goal for Lons. Not sure again who scored it, but it's a goal. Terry says 2-1. It is. Nick Nack says, dearie me, indeed. And with Sevilla winning, we now currently sit third in the group. Wow, we wasn't expecting this, was we, tonight? Especially when we scored early on. It is Lons 2, Arsenal 1, and Arsenal heading towards a first defeat of the season in any competition after a 10-game unbeaten run. Well, in fact, 11 if you go back to the end of last season. Good move this, though, from Lons. A nice 1-2 on this near side. Too much space. Zinchenko out of position again, not surprising. A good cross. First time finish, actually. It's number 9. It's Ailiwal with the goal. Put into that bottom corner. A good finish on the volley. Raya couldn't get across quick enough. That's a good move. But Zinchenko, where did he disappear to? Not quite sure. He wasn't there. And Wilder had a free shot there from, what, 12 yards. And again, it's a early cross into the box. Nathan says Zinchenko. Yeah, where was he? He's crap. Honestly, he's not a defender. He's not a left back. We got rid of a decent defensive left back, and now we play Tommy. Now we play Zinchenko every week. Nathan says there, who's marking the score? Well, nobody. Emil Smith-Rowe's come on now. Oh, we're losing, and he brings Emil Smith-Rowe on. Brilliant. Anyway, Nick Nack says beautifully taken goal. It was a very beautifully taken goal. Absolutely, it was a very good goal. Mark C says now we bring on ESR. Exactly, yeah. And Offro says ESR and Nelson on as a panic measure. Crap naive measure. To be fair, the three were about to come on, wasn't they? Before the goal was scored, they were standing there waiting to come on. Reece Nelson replaced Trossard, and Smith-Rowe. Who's Smith-Rowe replaced? Zinchenko's gone off. Bit too late, mate. You brought him off a minute too late, didn't you? Mark C says, and White. Who's ESR come on for? Who's gone off for ESR? Is it Havertz? I'm assuming it must be Havertz. He looks like he's taken up the Havertz position, so I'm guessing it's Havertz that's gone off. Nick Nat says goes to show Lons is a tough place to go. No, it is a tough place to go. Absolutely, yeah, it is Havertz that's gone off. Yeah. Terry says we're in trouble now. Zinchenko ain't had his massive cock up yet either. That was only a small balls up by him. No, I mean it was a bad mistake by him. He was miles out of position as he always is. And Mark says it was Havertz. Yeah, it was Havertz. I thought it was. Yeah. So the three changes then on 70 minutes have come just after we've gone 2-1 down, and suddenly what looked like it was meant to be a straightforward group for us. And after 15 minutes of this game, it looked as though it was going to be a straightforward group. Now is looking like it's going to be quite a tough group, because Sevilla will have 4 points, Lons will have 4 points, and we'll have 3 points. We'll be third place with a double header against Sevilla to come. Anyway, they're making a couple of substitutions themselves now. Lons Diouf is coming on. Andy Diouf, his name is, and he is French, and he's going to replace. I can't see who's replacing actually. Is that Tom Arson who's replacing? It is Tom Arson. In fact, it's Angelo Flugini who's replacing him. He sounds as though he should be Italian, but he's actually French as well. And it is Adrien Thomason, who had a great game for Lons. You have to say, he got the first goal. And they're bringing another someone as well. They're bringing on Wesley Said, and it is Namplay Mende, of course, the former Leicester player, is going off, and Andy Diouf is coming on. And Andy Diouf is French as well. And the other substitute is Wesley Said, and he's replacing Wiley, who scored that goal. Just a moment ago, Wiley scored that goal. And Wesley Said, who's also French as well. So all their three subs are all French. There you go. Terry says, at least we've gone back to 11 players on the pitch. And Offro says, another no-show by Havertz. And it says, we're a disgrace. Well, we haven't been great, have we? Let's be honest. I've been trying to tell you, mate, about Mikel Arteta. He's not the one. I keep telling you, but no one's listening to me. Maybe they'll start listening at some point, but I'm not sure. Nick Nack says, Havertz seems to be even worse at Arsenal than he was at Chelsea. Well, he's certainly not better, is he? And Nick Nack says, how is that even possible? Well, I don't know. You'd have to ask Mikel Arteta. Anyway, Galatasaray have equalised at Old Trafford. It's now 2-2. That looks like a pretty good game as well, doesn't it? Are we going to find an equaliser? Make this 2-2, but not at the moment, because Lons are coming forward again. They've played well in this second half. In fact, they've played well all through the game, you have to say. They look an effective team, very direct and very physical, and we've struggled to cope with it, which is why we're losing, quite honestly. Anyway, we have still got 15, 16 minutes to play, and Arsenal have just won the ball back. Declan Rice, who's one of the only players for Arsenal who's really been at the right level that we've needed tonight. I think he's been good. Probably our best player, as he tends to be most games. And he just brought the ball forward again, found Fabio Vieira on that far side. Fabio Vieira just plays it short to Martin Odegaard. Nick Nack says Alonso have had a right game plan tonight. Yeah, they have. They've done really well. Reece Nelson now on his near side. Is he going to make the difference? He has done before. Smith-Rowe touches the ball back to Gabriel. Arsenal keeping some possession. Declan Rice now. Is he going to make something happen for us? Somebody needs to, quite honestly. Terry says, roll on January, we can bring Calvin Phillips in to put us on a winning run again and bring home all the silverware. Yeah, Calvin Phillips is going to be the one, isn't he? It's Calvin Phillips and Ollie Watkins. They're the two we're buying, apparently. Mark C says, Long's keeping 10 men behind the ball. And of course, why wouldn't they? You know, they've got a lead to defend, haven't they? And they're going to make it difficult for us, of course. Why would we expect anything else? We've got to be clever enough to try and find a way through that, haven't we? Find a way to break it down. That's what we've got to do. And so far, have we had a shot yet since that very, very early effort from Trossard that started the second half? Have we had a shot at goal since then? Oh, no, we did, didn't we? The Tommy Asu one from the corner. That was right. Which was actually a good chance, a good save. But other than that, though, we haven't created hardly anything, have we, in the second half at all? Nick Neck says there, Lons as men behind the ball most of the game. That's why it's been hard to create. But yeah, they have, and then they've broke really quickly, got the ball wide and whacked it in the box. Mark C says, this is where we miss having a player like Giroud. Yeah, but a player like Giroud wouldn't get any service with Arteta as manager because he won't play that way. Arteta won't get the ball wide and put crosses in the box. This is why, you know, a lot of Arsenal fans, we need a centre forward. He's bought one striker, Mikel Arteta, in 4 years, one striker, and that striker is Jesus. One, who he worked with at Man City, and two, isn't a striker, is he? He's a false nine, is how he plays. And that's the only sort of striker that Mikel Arteta has bought. He's not going to buy Giroud. He's not going to buy Ivan Toney. Let's talk of Ollie Watkins. I'll be surprised if he buys Ollie Watkins. Ollie Watkins is too much of a centre forward for what he wants. Anyway, Terry says Trossard and Tommy, the two efforts. Yeah, you're right. It was them two, but that's not enough, is it, to win a game? Offero says that Casemiro sent off. Is he again? He's been sent off before this season, hasn't he? And also coming forward again. Again, that's good defending. Actually, very good defending. Is that Danso again? He's been epic, hasn't he, at the back there for Lons? Was it Nathan that was praising him before the game? We didn't know too much about him actually, the Austrian, but wow, what a performance he's had. At the back, he's been really, really strong, hasn't he? And that kind of sums up where he is, really, doesn't it? Where this game's gone. Nathan says it should have went in for Maddison. I agree. I agree. He's absolutely flying, isn't he, at Tottenham at the minute? Nick Nack says it looks like he'll be off somewhere. Yeah. Ollie Watkins was tight-lipped on signing a new contract at the weekend. Yeah, no, I think he will. I mean, we may well buy him. We definitely won't buy Ivan Toney. Ivan Toney is too much of a maverick character for Mikel Arteta. There's no way Mikel Arteta will buy Ivan Toney. I think Ivan Toney would be the better option, but he won't swallow his pride and buy a player like that, even though he's a better player. So he will buy Ollie Watkins. Ollie Watkins is a nice guy, isn't he? You know, he's I'm not saying Ivan Toney is a nice guy, but Ivan Toney is a bit of a personality, isn't he? He's got a little bit of nastiness about him, and that's not what Mikel Arteta wants, does he? Anyway, Ben White coming forward over on that far side. Of course, he has replaced Tommy Asu, and I'll coming forward again. Is that a free kick on the edge of the box? The referee says no. If it's not a foul, then is it not a dive? It's got to be one or the other. Anyway, Arsenal keep possession. Nick Nack says, I think Watkins could be a good fit. Possibly. I'm not really sure how he would fit in with our team, but anyway, we'll have to see. Terry says, Jesus is a terrific 12-goal a season centre forward. He is, yeah. All those 12 goals that he gets a season. And even then, I don't think he even got 12 last season, did he? Nathan says Maddison is the sort of player that would grab a game like this by the scruff of the neck and produce something. He is, yeah. But that's why Mikel Arteta wouldn't buy him, because Mikel Arteta doesn't like players like that. He'd rather have Martin Odegaard in that position. Again, nice player, lovely with the ball, caresses it about, but isn't going to drive you forward, is he? And isn't going to, as you said there, take the game by the scruff of the neck. He's not going to do that, is he? He isn't. Off-road says there, Watkins is not our standard. He is Arteta's standard. Well, exactly. He's Arteta's style of play. You're absolutely right. Nick Nack says absolute steal for Spurs was Maddison. Yeah. There was talk of Arsenal being interested in Maddison, wasn't there? Probably two years ago, maybe more than that, when obviously Leicester were having a few issues. Never happened, did it? Anyway, we've got 11 minutes to play here in northern France. It is Lens 2, Arsenal 1. And Arsenal, as things stand, are third in the group. Yes, there's still 4 games to go. No panic yet. Anyway, Martin Odegaard's coming off now. The Arsenal captain is once again being substituted. And who is coming on for him. In fact, also making 2 more substitutions, are we? Eddie Nketiah is coming on. Eddie's going to save us. Go on, Eddie. Eddie has come on for. In fact, it's the other substitute is for Lons. Actually, I thought it was another Arsenal change, but it isn't. It's another change for Lons. They are making. Is that their 5th substitution? No, their 4th or their 5th. Anyway, it is Machado's going off and Ruben Aguilar's coming on. He's a defender. And that's obviously brought on to maybe shore things up for them in these last 10 minutes. Is it going to be an Arsenal onslaught for 10 minutes? Or what is going to happen here? Arsenal needs something from this game. You do feel a draw now would be okay, wouldn't it, in the circumstances? But anyway, we're still going to have some work to do. Smith Rowe trying to do some defensive work there. Does well. Emil Smith Rowe wins the ball and then's fouled. Nathan says Osherman is unhappy at his club. He's not an Arteta player either, is he? He is not an Arsenal player. Opro says Galatasaray winning. Wow. Nick Neck says no need to panic just yet. Well, no, not. Well, I don't know. 10 minutes to go. It's almost time to panic, isn't it? I don't know. Terry says, come on, give Havertz his due. He did nearly run around and done nothing again. At least he's well, maybe consistent, maybe, do you mean? But he did nearly score, actually, didn't he, in that first half? Anyway, Lons have won the ball back there off Reece Nelson. And they are a very physical team, actually, Lons, to be fair to them. They are a very physical team. And it's looking as though we're still not going to be able to beat them in the Champions League. This will be the 3rd match, and it could well be a 2nd defeat out of those 3. Ball played through. There wasn't a great ball, actually. And they're always going to look dangerous on the counter-attack, aren't they? Nathan says surely is every manager's type of player. Well, no, because each manager's got their own type of player that they want. And as centre forwards go, Osherman is not a Mikel Arteta type of player, is he? He's not the type of player that Mikel Arteta, I don't think, would fit the style that we play, personally. So I'll be surprised if we buy someone like that. Ollie Watkins does fit that Arsenal style. Yes, I agree, he does. It's not maybe the sort of player that I would want to choose. Icardi is that scored for Galatasaray at Old Trafford. They do lead 3-2. Of course, Man United down to 10 men after Casemiro was sent off. Mark C says Lons are physically bullying us. Yeah, they are. And how many times have we seen that away from home? This is why we always lose against Everton usually, because they bully us away from home, don't they? This is why we lose at Anfield constantly, because they always bully us. Nick Nack says Havertz is consistent. I'll give him that. He is. He's very consistent. Yeah, he's a 4 out of 10 every game he's played. No, that's unfair. Actually, that is unfair. He's not as bad as everybody says he is. He's just not doing enough to justify his price tag and to justify him getting picked in the team every week. Offroad says this is terrible management tactics. It is. It's not the first time. Let's be honest. We know this. Anyway, Reece Nelson now on this near side. We're into the last 7 minutes. He's run out of play though, Reece Nelson. It's going to be a throw to Lons. And Arsenal haven't really looked like equalising, have we, since we went behind. Anyway, it's a throw currently to Lons on this near side. Aguilera, not Christina Aguilera, although maybe she can come on and do a job for Lons as well. I'm not sure. But anyway, Arsenal are now coming forward. Reece Nelson plays it into Eddie Nketiah, gets it back. Reece Nelson plays it out to that far side. Declan Rice now running forward with the ball. Runs into a bit of trouble now, but Arsenal do manage to keep possession. Now it's back with Tomiyasu's still on, is it? Oh, Tomiyasu's come on left back. Sorry, yeah. This confused me there. Nick Nat says red card for Casemiro. He was sent off before, wasn't he? Mark C says we're just not getting it in their box at all. No, we're not. That's not our style, though, is it? We don't do that, do we? We don't bombard the box like I always want us to. This has been a problem I've had with Mikel Arteta since he came, really. You're losing a game and he never lobs the ball. So imagine what Lons would be doing if we were winning. They would be throwing that ball in that box, wouldn't they? Constantly. Terry says Rice's mentality, what made him think he was coming to Arsenal to win things. Well, yeah, Rice is the one. He's the only one tonight, I think, that can hold his head up and say, yes, I've done my job tonight. I've been good. The rest of them have been poor, lackluster, as we mentioned before. Nick Nack says, and Sevilla winning 1-0. Yeah, where they are, yeah, Sevilla winning 1-0. So I say we're down to 3rd in the group as things stand. But ball goes into the box Finally, we put the ball in the box, but Lons head it away. Not a good clearance, actually. But again, they win the tackles. They are very, very... They have bullied us, but they've lost the ball again on the edge of the box. Shot comes in. Smith Rowe it was. What a way for him. It would be a great moment for him to get his first Arsenal goal for about 2 years, wouldn't it? But that shot, I don't know if the goalie pushed it out, whether it hit the woodwork. I'm not really sure, but it didn't go in anyway. But Arsenal got a throw over on that far side. 5 minutes to go. We're building up a little bit of a head of steam here, actually, as we move into the closing stages of this game. That's a poor throw there, isn't it? And it's gone straight out. Fabio Vieira put his arms up there as if to say, what are you doing? Smith Rowe did really well, actually. Nice first touch, nice second touch. It was straight at the goalkeeper, though. He punched it out. It wasn't the woodwork. He hit the goalkeeper. He punched it away. Good. Another decent save from the goalkeeper, actually. Nick Nack says, decent try from ESR. Mark C says, at least ESR gets a shot on target. Indeed, it was a decent effort, wasn't it? But it was too close to the goalkeeper, let's be honest. And any goalkeeper should expect to save that. Let's be honest with you. But yeah, not really enough to get us back into this game. 4 minutes on the clock. There'll be some stoppage time, and Arsenal are now coming forward again. Are we going to find a goal which would put us back into that top two in the group? Would it put us top, wouldn't it, actually, if we were to find an equaliser on 4 points above Sevilla on goal difference? Of course, we do play that double header against Sevilla, and we're going to have to play a lot better than this because we play them away first, and we will need to be much, much better than this. Otherwise, we might not be getting too much there either. Anyway, Lons are coming forward again. In no rush, though. They've gone back now. They get the ball up this near side. Bursting forward. Is that a foul? It is a foul. It's going to be a free kick. It was Grandit there, came forward. And PSV did equalise, but Sevilla have just scored again, 87th minute. And Sevilla looks like they're going to win over there in Holland. Mark C says, if we somehow get a draw out of this, it will be a good result. It would be a good result. I said a draw today, but before I saw the team, I didn't really expect us to get much more than a draw because I thought we'd make a lot of changes. Instead, we've gone strong, and now we're losing. It's crazy, isn't it? Anyway, coming forward again, Lons, a chance for a third goal. Shot just wide. That would have sealed it there. Again, they pull the ball back from the far side this time, very similar to how they scored the second goal, but from the other side of the pitch. Ball to the edge of the penalty, shot comes in, but that was well wide, actually, in the end. A missed kick, in actual fact, by number 7, Scottoka. And Arsenal now have got 2.5 minutes of normal time. If we are going to salvage that draw, that would be a good result, absolutely. I think it would have been a half-decent result before, really, because away from home in Europe, a draw is what you need. Reece Nelson trying to get clear down this near side, but again, couldn't keep the ball in. It's going to be a throw to Lons. More time ticks away, 88 minute on the clock now. We are ticking down to the final stages of this game. The Lons fans have enjoyed this, no doubt. Famous victory for them. Only their third ever season in the Champions League. This is in their whole history. They've only ever won one French league title. That was in 1998. They finished runners-up last season to PSG, of course, who are in England tomorrow, aren't they, when they play Newcastle at St James's Park. And don't forget, Lons are only the second best team in France. That long ball played over the top. Arsenal going to get the opportunity. The ball comes back to Jesus, lays it off to Emil Smith-Rowe, again on the edge of the box. Plays it out wide. It's a chance now for Eddie, and Kenny gets one in the box. Reece Nelson, great defending. Oh, and they can't really clear it away, but they do now. Big chance that was from Arsenal, and there's a bit of pushing and shoving going on inside the penalty area there. Jesus getting involved, Reece Nelson getting involved. There was a big chance in there, though, for Arsenal. Not quite sure how that didn't go in. It was great defending. The goalkeeper, Samba, has gone down with an injury, although I don't know if he's really injured or not. The referee needs to sort this out, though, because players are squaring up to each other inside the Lons penalty area. Not quite sure what happened there. Nick Nack says there, massive chance for Jesus on the rebound. There was a big chance in there, wasn't there, when all that was going on? There was a couple of big chances, actually. We're into the last 30 seconds of normal time. The referee wants to speak to a couple of players. Jesus is one of them, I think, for Arsenal, and not sure who the Lons player is he wants to speak to, but there was a lot of afters there, And there was a big chance for Arsenal. There's going to be a yellow card to Jesus and a yellow card to one of the Lons players as well. It's actually number 6, Abdul Samido, with the yellow card, the Ghanaian as well. Mark C says should have scored. It looked like we should have scored. It was a bit of a scramble and a defender got in the way and somehow the ball stayed out. We've had a couple of moments like that in this game, haven't we? Where it hasn't quite gone in when it maybe should have done. But we're into stoppage time. I don't know how much stoppage time was signalled actually because it's not telling us. So I'm not really sure, but we are into stoppage time now. It is a free kick to Lons, which goalkeeper Samba will take up this near side, and Arsenal win the ball briefly, but then it's played forward again by Lons. 4 minutes of stoppage time is going to be 4 minutes, everyone. Nick Nack says there, how many? It's 4. We've played nearly one of those 4 minutes already. William Saliba goes long. Now Arsenal are going long. Desperate times, and there's a free kick there. Is there? No, there isn't. The referee, he's given it now. He has given it. Looked like he hadn't at first, but he has given a free kick now with, what is it, about 10 yards outside the penalty area? I think it was a foul on Fabio Vieira. Arteta is speaking to the 4th official. This might be Arsenal's last big chance. Nick Nack says who takes it. It was Tommy Essen that was fouled, actually. Fabio Vieira's over this. And Declan Rice and Gabriel are all in conversation. Nick Nack says, can't remember the last time an Arsenal player scored a direct free kick. That's a good point, actually. I can't remember. I remember Pepe scored a couple, didn't he, in a Europa League game a couple of years ago. That was a while ago, wasn't it? Odegaard scored one at Burnley 2 seasons ago. Yeah, Fabio Vieira's not going to shoot. He chips it towards the far post. Oh, it's over, everyone. It's gone behind. Is it a corner? William Saliba it was. No, it's a goal kick. It was a dangerous ball, actually, chipped into the far post. They're just showing an earlier moment there. It was Reece Nelson's shot, hits the defender, and Jesus spent too much time protesting about something with his hands on his head rather than trying to get in the 6-yard box. A natural goal scorer there gets in the 6-yard box. When that hits the defender, comes out and finishes that off. And Jesus is standing there complaining, protesting and appealing to something. Get yourself in the box, score the goal, and you don't have to appeal them, do you? And he was standing there watching. And that's not a natural goal scorer for me. Imagine what Ian Wright would have done there. Ian Wright would have been in there scoring, wouldn't he? Absolutely would have done. Offo says Odegaard last season. Who was it against last season? I know he scored one against Burnley a couple of seasons ago. Who did Odegaard score a free kick against last season? Nick Nack says, long way out, nothing wrong with the ball in. No, it was a good ball in. It was a dangerous ball in. Just couldn't quite get there, could we? Anyway, we've got just over a minute of stoppage time to play. Now Arsenal go long. We should have gone long 5-10 minutes ago. The ball falls to the edge of the box. Reece Nelson. Again, though, strong defending from Lons. They scramble the ball away. And we are going to get much longer now, are we, in this game? Nick Nat says Bayern have turned it around 2-1 up now. That's what the top teams do. They find a way, don't they? Always find a way. Can Arsenal find a way to get a draw here and keep our unbeaten start to the season going? Declan Rice brings the ball forward, finds Fabio Vieira on the left this time, crosses it in again. Again, it's gone over everyone, but it's put behind, maybe panics at the back there by the Lons defender. Said he didn't get any shout. And Arsenal got a corner when maybe we were fortunate to get one. And Nick Nack says there, the English teams losing is the biggest shock of the night. Well, I wouldn't say Man United loses a shock, is it? Let's be honest. But us losing this game is a shock, yeah. Is David Raya going up for this? I don't know. Oh, he is. David Raya's in the penalty area. David Raya is up for this. It's going to be Arsenal's last chance with this corner from the far side. The Lons fans looking quite anxious. Nelson and Vieira are over it. It's going to be Nelson. He pushes Vieira away. It's now or never for Arsenal. David Raya is in the box. Is David Raya going to get his head on this? The corner comes in. Raya jumps for it, but Alonso Bentley comes at Samuel Smith-Rowe. The shot's blocked. It's another corner to Arsenal. We've played over the 4 minutes. Wow. Mark C says ESR shot blocks again. It is. Surely this is the last chance now. Reece Nelson again. He's had some dramatic late moments for Arsenal before, hasn't he? There's another ball on the pitch now, actually, which Reece Nelson is just going to roll off before he takes his corner. David Raya is still in the penalty area. Is this going to be the moment for Arsenal? 4.5 minutes of stoppage time played. Reece Nelson's corner at the edge of the 6-yard box. Header comes in from Gabriel, but Alon's players there, boots it clear. And surely that's going to be it, is it? Or do we get one more chance? Who's back into the box again? Ball's inside the box. Jesus plays it in. Again, Lons scramble it clear. And now the full-time whistle's gone. It's a famous victory for Lons. It's finished here tonight. Lons 2, Arsenal 1. Arsenal led after just 14 minutes. Gabriel Jesus with the goal, but not great after that, really, from Arsenal. Lons equalised, a poor goal to concede before half-time. It was Adrian Thomason with the goal. The second half, Arsenal had some moments, had a few efforts at goal, a few cleared off the line, a couple of good saves with the goalkeeper, but we didn't really threaten enough. And it was Lons who won it with 20 minutes to play. It was Iley Wiley got the goal with a good counter-attack, a ball played back from Arsenal's left-hand side. Zinchenko was nowhere to be seen, and a good first-time finish in a corner. And Lons have got a famous victory, and Arsenal are out of the top 2 in the Champions League group. Well, I kind of maybe they're just missing the Europa League. They want to go back into that again. Maybe that's what this is all about. Nick Nack says there's still every chance of getting out of the group. Oh yeah, I mean, it's in our hands. We've got a double header against Sevilla to come, and if we can beat them, some Lons fans are crying with happiness. It's a big night for them. They have beaten us in the Champions League once before. Nick Nack says fair play to Lons. They played really well. They did. They had a game plan, stuck to it, and it worked really well. Nathan said Rice best player. Absolutely, he was by a mile. And literally, he's head and shoulders above everybody else. Tepid performance, too many sideways and backwards passes. That's just Arsenal, mate. That's just how we play. And that Nathan says, "Yeah, Lons, well played, Lons. Yeah, they played well." Terry says, "Arteta's a Man U. They won't want him. Joking me, aren't you? He'll never get another top job after this." Anyway, Arsenal have lost in the Champions League. Our first Champions League defeat since 2017, and yes, not what we were expecting tonight, were we? Really, especially the way that we started the game. Yes, Lons had a good spur in the first 10 minutes, but we got the goal, didn't we? 14 minutes in, and you thought what a platform that was to go and build on. But we conceded a really, really poor goal in that first half, didn't we? And unfortunately, Lons got the goal in the second half as well. Nick Nack says a draw probably would have been a fair result. Yeah, I agree. It probably would have been. But when you look at it, the way Lons set up their game plan, you could say they carried it out to perfection. And do you not deserve to win a game when you carry out your game plan as well as they did? You know, we didn't do enough to counter that, did we? We wanted to keep playing our football. It was only really the last 5 minutes, a bit less than that when we started going long. Desperation times going long. I'd like to have seen us do that a bit earlier. It almost paid off, didn't it? Because we had 1 or 2 opportunities at the end, didn't we? We could have nicked it. And I agree. Yeah, if we'd got a draw, I don't think anybody could have said that wasn't a fair result. But Lons played well, and you can't give them anything but credit tonight. They really played well. The crowd were up, lifted her as well, and yeah, it wasn't. We were off it today a little bit, wasn't we? Have we got half a mind on Sunday? I'm not sure, but we can't use that as an excuse. You've got to be up for every game, haven't you? Mark C says death by a 1,000 sideways passes. Well, that's what it's like with this Arsenal team, isn't it? Every single game's the same. And usually we manage to find a way, but today we couldn't. And I say Lons defended well. They were strong. They were physical. They made it really, really tough for us, and we weren't able to cope. And yeah, we've lost the game that we shouldn't have lost. Let's be honest, we should not have lost that game, but we have. And now we've got work to do in this group. We currently sit third in the group, behind Lons and Sevilla. We've both got 4 points. Right. Let's have a look through at the other results tonight, shall we? Now all the games are finished. So in Group A, Copenhagen 1, Bayern Munich 2. They scored twice in the second half to pull that one round. Manchester United 2, Galatasaray 3. Man United did lead, and they've ended up losing. Casemiro was sent off, 2 yellow cards for him, and Man United have lost 2 out of 2 in their group, so they're obviously going to struggle, aren't they? In Group B, of course, as we know, Lons 2, Arsenal 1, and PSV have got an equaliser in the last minute. PSV 2, Sevilla 2. So that sort of saved us a little bit, hasn't it? So Sevilla have dropped down to third. We're second now with 3 points. Lons are top with 4. Sevilla have got 2, and PSV have got 1. In fact, they scored twice in the last 5 minutes, PSV, to get a 2-2 draw there. So well played to them. In Group C, Union Berlin 2, Sporting Lisbon 3. There was an injury time winner there as well. Napoli 2, Real Madrid 3. What a game that was. It was an own goal in the end from Meret that gave Real Madrid the victory there. Salzburg 0, Sociedad 2. Comfortable victory for them. And Inter Milan 1, Benfica 0. It was Thuram with the goal there. So some late drama actually in some of these games, wasn't there? Wow, didn't expect to see some of that, do we? Nick Nack says there are 2 more home wins, beat PSV away, and we're probably through. Well, I'd say we're definitely through. And the 2 games against Sevilla is going to be, it's probably going to put us through or not. 4 points for them 2 games, I think we're through then if we get 4 points there with the 2 games to come. Phil says Sunday is going to be Sunday's going to be bad. It probably is going to be bad, let's be honest. I was kind of fearing it was going to be bad anyway. But judging by the way we play tonight, it'll be really bad if we play like this again. Nick Nack says, let's hope City have a tough night tomorrow. Well, yeah. Terry says, is Martin Keown Arteta's PR team? Some of the rubbish is coming out. I've not heard him actually. I say I don't have the sound on really. I just have it on really low. Nathan says, thanks for the commentary, Rich. Hit the like button, everyone. Yeah, please give us a like. Why not give us a like? Thanks for tuning in again, mate. Good to see you. Hope you're well. Hope things are going well for you. We'll have to meet up at some stage soon, mate, again. Terry says, no, Phil, we'll be all right Sunday. Party will be back playing right back. He probably will, actually, yeah. Nick Nack says, thanks for the stream. No, thanks for you guys watching and your comments. It makes it what it is. That's why I do it, really. For all you guys, we have great conversations, don't we? Makes it good fun. Terry says night to Nick Nack. Don't forget tomorrow, if you do like the women's team, we are doing a slightly different night for our Arsenal women's show this week due to the fact that the women are playing on Friday, which is their usual show night. So we're doing it tomorrow night, 7:30, looking back at that Liverpool game and looking ahead to the Man United game on Friday. A big game it is, isn't it? If Arsenal lose on Friday to Man U, 2 defeats to start the season, is going to be difficult, isn't it, to come back from that? But let's see what happens there. So that's on tomorrow night. So please join us for that. Andreas, of course, will be with us. So that's going to be good. And then, of course, on Friday, we will be here for the watch-along. Arsenal women against Manchester United, a game that we, well, quite honestly, have to win. So join me for that one. That's going to be big. And, of course, Sunday, Arsenal versus Manchester City from the Emirates. That is going to be such a big game now, isn't it? In the context of the season, Man City have lost their last 2. They play tomorrow. Our unbeaten run's just ended as well. So it's going to be an interesting game on Sunday. So loads of great stuff coming up actually on the channel. So if you are new and you haven't done so yet, please consider subscribing. That would be really, really nice. Mark C says, good night, chaps. Roll on Sunday. Yeah, roll on Sunday, but we need to play better, a lot better. We're at home, which will probably make a difference as well, won't it? Offroad says we are getting slapped by Man City. I don't disagree. I'm hoping that we don't, but at this moment in time, I'm not feeling overly confident, even though Man City have got a lot of players missing. Rodri, of course, being the main one for them. That is a big miss, but yeah, I'm not too sure that we can, that we'll do too good there. Terry says, well, 2 disasters on the trot. Come on, girls, let's not make it a hat-trick. Exactly, yeah. I mean, if the Arsenal women lose on Friday, then obviously the men play Man City Sunday. That's not going to be a good week, is it, for Arsenal at all, is it, really? But anyway, let's hope that doesn't happen. Terry says, night, Mike. Yeah, thanks everyone for watching. It's been great. Your comments have been great. There's been quite a few people in and out throughout the stream as well watching, which is nice. I haven't seen what the likes are, but obviously there wasn't enough to make Arsenal win. But, you know, we can't have everything, can we? So yeah, I'm back tomorrow night with the Arsenal women's chart. So it's like a different night for this week, but what can you do? The fixture list is what it is. They put games on at stupid nights when it doesn't really suit us, so we have to move our show around. But we will do it tomorrow night for you at 7:30. So join us for that. And I say the big watch-alongs on Friday and on Sunday. Arsenal versus Manchester twice. On Friday it's Manchester United. Sunday is Manchester City, so it's going to be good. Offroad says, I need a drink later. Yeah, you deserve one, mate, as well. I think we all do after that. Yeah, I will see you guys hopefully tomorrow for some of you that like the women, and Friday. If not, I'll see the rest of you on Sunday for the big game, Arsenal versus Man City. We need to bounce back from this rather poor, weak performance tonight. And yeah, that's what we need to do. So join me for that, see what happens. But yeah, I'll be back tomorrow with the Arsenal women's show. Something different for a Wednesday this week, just because of, I say, the fixtures. So join me for that. It finished here tonight. Lons 2, Arsenal 1. Really disappointed in the Arsenal performance overall. Gabriel Jesus has given us the lead as well. Things looked so good, didn't they, early on? But unfortunately not. Terry says, Richard, have a good one. I'll see you tomorrow. Come on, you Gunners. Come on, you Goals. Indeed, yeah, we'll see you all tomorrow. Yeah, enjoy the rest of your evening and enjoy tomorrow. And I'll see you tomorrow night, where we'll have some fun chatting about the Arsenal women, even though it's not been a great start to the season there. But things will improve. Very early days still. And it's very early days in this Champions League group. PSV have done us a big favour by getting a late point, kept us in that top 2 with a double header against Sevilla to come. We need 4 points from that, really, don't we? And then beat Lons at home. And that should be enough to put us through, shouldn't it? So not too much to worry about, really, but just a poor performance tonight again. It's been the story of our season, really, hasn't it? We haven't quite got going yet, but anyway, it's done. We've lost. We have to move on and bounce back and hopefully be better, or much better on Sunday, definitely. Terry says, night off road, see you soon. Indeed, I'm sure you'll be in on Sunday. Looking forward to it on Sunday, but yeah, it's likely to be a very difficult afternoon. We know that. But who knows? Stranger things have happened. Lons have just beaten us, so we can beat Manchester City, can't we? Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. It's been, I would say, it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure chatting to all you guys. Not quite the performance or the result that we expected or hoped for. Arsenal have lost in the Champions League. Our first defeat in the Champions League since 2017. So there you go. It's been a long time since we last lost in this competition, and hopefully we won't be losing too many more, because we can't afford to lose too many more in this group now, can we? Because it's looking like it's going to be quite tight. But it's in our hands. We've got 2 big games to come against Sevilla coming up, so they're going to be interesting. But yeah, we've got a big game coming before that, haven't we? So join me tomorrow for the women's show, and on Friday and on Sunday. Thanks for watching, guys. Take it easy, and I will see you soon. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Ta-da.